Welcome to the world, no heroes and villains. Welcome to the war, we've only begun. So pick up your weapon and face it. There's blood on the ground, go and take it. You get one shot to make it out alive. So higher and higher you're chasing. It's deep in your bones, go and take it. This is your moment. Now is your time, so prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Rise, push through heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you. Rise. Welcome to the climb up, reach for the summit. Visions break, the one falls, steadily the end. So higher and higher you're chasing. It's deep in your blood, go and take it. This is your moment. Take to the skies, go. Prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Rise, push through heaven. They will remember you. It is you fight among the dead, beneath the dirt. Or do you know yet? Or do you want it? And when the giants call to ask you what you're worth, do you know yet? We don't die. Prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Rise, push through heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you. Prove yourself and rise, rise. Pick up your weapon and face it. Rise, deep in your blood, deep in your blood, go and take it. You keep chasing. Rise, rise.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 1 of this amazing series here, or at least the start of it, as we do get into the finals of the Upsurge Premier League playoffs here. My name is Orbital. I am joined here by Sordo. How are you doing today, Sordo?
Yeah, no, really good. As one league opens today in the NFL, we close out our league here in Upsurge, the Premier League, and we have the matchup that, I feel everyone thought they knew was coming since the beginning of the season. I did it when I was talking about it the first time that I was here in the Upsurge Premier League doing the draft show. It's Radiance versus Supernova in our grand finals. And I mean, again, we kind of all knew this was coming, but I'm still sure as hell excited to be here.
I mean, I am as well. It is amazing. This is hopefully going to be an amazing 5-game series here, or at least, a very entertaining one. At least, because these are two of the top amateur league teams coming out. They battled their way through Supernova qualifying for the scouting grounds through the open qualifiers, as well as multiple tournament entries, as well as Radiance with their entry into the finals here in the Upsurge Premier League. They will have booked their ticket as well going into the scouting grounds, which I think is fantastic to see.
Yeah, no, and I mean, the thing is, we've seen Radiance, we've seen Supernova. Supernova has been on top of their game. They're playing through value. They're playing through Sudsy. Pie Cake Lord has improved his play over the season. It's unfortunate to hear, that Value won't be making it to scouting grounds, that he has other commitments. But for Supernova, this is a massive opportunity for them. Whereas on the other side, for Radiance, they've been up and down. They did have the easier side of the tournament bracket going in. They had Lotus, I believe. And then for Supernova, they were taken to 5 games by arguably one of the top teams in Anu. So it doesn't really surprise me to see it all go on. The thing is, I'm kind of scared for Radiance here, that with the loss of Odd Orange going over to TLA, congratulations to him in all regards. But it has left a bit of a hole with Radiance. Hyper being really new here, he hasn't really meshed well. And when he's been behind, it hasn't looked good for the side of Radiance.
That is a terrifying fear as well. We have seen some chinks in the armor for both squads. This time around, Supernova actually coming close to being possibly eliminated in a best-of-5 series against a new esports. They were, neck and neck through that entire series in the semifinals of the Upsurge Premier League, which was a fantastic series to watch. But at the same time, Radiance, like you said, a little bit of a roster swap, definitely into this latter portion of the playoffs here can hamper their playstyle, but we'll definitely have to see what they can make of it and if they will be able to, really power through. But we will be getting into the draft phase here. I'm super excited to see what they can bring out. No new Pantheon just yet. That will be coming out in another week. At least we hope. But again, we do have those interesting picks as well with the Yuumi, and even possibly seeing a Volibear or Swain support, which has been making its rounds throughout the pro leagues. I mean, do you think we'll see any of that crazy stuff here?
Most likely not. Probably the most craziest thing that we will see is, the Tristana into a solo lane. I don't know. Watching LCK, watching the rest of AM, you start to develop your own metas throughout. We've started to see more and more of the Tristana. Aatrox has been such a large flex pick, just watching it throughout all of the leagues that are, as are we, coming to an end. Seeing them in the finals, Aatrox has been the center of everything, but we are in to the pick and ban phase. Radiance on the clock now. You can still ban things out like the Yuumi. We have seen Sudsy on Azir. It's going to be banned out here. It's most likely going to respond with a Quirky ban as well. That right now, Quirky is the highest win rate in competitive League of Legends. It wouldn't surprise me to see it banned. Cassiopeia, though, going to be respected over towards Cat Evolved. They don't want to see him on it. Sejuani, again, top tier jungler in competitive. Gonna see nerfs next patch, God bless. Maybe we'll stop getting resident sleeper junglers. Sejuani gonna be banned, Tristana and Gragas as well. Again, Tristana, massive in those solo lanes, gonna be taken out instantly.
Yep, so key priority targets being banned away, some a little more targeted than others, but this does leave the playing field a little less open. As you were stating before, we are looking for that possible Corki ban coming out from Supernova, or if they do decide to leave it open, you know, take their chances against that champion itself. That is a high possibility. Last few seconds here, and that will be left blank. We will see if that is actually a Lee Sin. Very sorry. And so multiple jungle targets here, a lot of heavy engaged champions actually taken off the table.
So now you leave up Yuumi, now you leave up Boris, the Aatrox, we love him. I mean, there's a lot that Radiance can pick here. You leave up Corki as well, you're going to take the Olaf, which is kind of interesting because he has been picked as a counter towards the Sejuani, but knowing Hyper, he's always been one to play very aggressive junglers. That's why we saw the Gragas ban. That's why we saw the Lee Sin ban. But now you leave up things like Sivir Yuumi. You leave up things like the Corki. And now you're going to leave up Corki Karma. Karma has been one of the most valuable picks throughout competitive. Last night over in Omega, we saw it banned throughout the 5-game series. It is just not fun to deal with. Can be flexed into top mid, can be played as support. Syndra, though, going to be picked up as the response to the Corki. Not the worst matchup. Still, Corki can do well into this matchup. But Syndra, a good response from Cat Evolve. We have seen him play it before throughout AM. So it's not out of the ordinary to see it. Definitely, though, you still have the Aatrox up. You have the Yuumi up. You need to be looking towards those.
And also having that extra little bit of CC coming in with the Scout of the Week is always nice. But again, the Yuumi is available. We are looking for that bot lane rotation coming out of Radiance. They will pick up the Sivir, which is a nice combo there with the Olaf, you know, running in with the Ragnarok, having him speed into battle is always going to feel pretty good there. But locking out that bot lane, giving it a little bit of safety in terms of the farming potential and the wave clear as well.
And the thing is, now Radiance have a go button with the Olaf Ragnarok and the Sivir ulti as well. You have Scattered of the Weak that can also engage a team fight. They have something there. Supernova, though, going to ban out the Nautilus. Most likely going to, ban out other engaged supports as well. But for the side of Supernova, now they have their go button. They have the Corki package. They have the J4 Flag and Drag Cataclysm. And that's really important for teams. You need teams to have engaged, disengaged. When you don't have that, you kind of drop into a 1-3-1 team composition. And especially in AM, you kind of don't see it, done as effectively as things like LPL, like LCK. And that's where teams tend to throw. Lucian, Draven, Camille going to be taken off as well. These are definitely some bans towards Arthurius up there, but also towards Jurassic. Jurassic and Winter, they have developed pretty well. Ezreal, though, going to be the pick. Kind of surprising. You still have the Yuumi up, so now Sivir Yuumi is a really big possibility.
It is, and that would be a solid way to round out that bottom lane, give the Sivir a little bit more safety. There is a possibility of having that engage another fearsome drag from the deeps. Pyke is hovered, 5 seconds left. That might be a lock-in, and that would another point of solid engage coming out from Radiance once again.
Yeah, so Pyke Sivir is still a pretty decently strong lane. It's not the most effective, but with Supernova more looking towards that Karma in the bot lane is what it seems. Especially with a Kled being locked in, that would do pretty well into Karma. You don't run the risk of having a Morgana in the bot lane, which would kind of just destroy Sivir Pyke. So it's more looking towards Karma bot. Supernova leaving the counter pick to Pycake Lord that has immensely improved over the course of the season, going from someone that has had quite a few shaky starts to now being their solid person. Alistar, though, going to be locked in. So that's going to be Karma top versus the Kled. And now you're going to have Alistar Ezreal versus Sivir Pyke. Interesting matchup. They still need to respect the Pyke engage, but it's not as bad as what it could be. Alistar can headbutt Pulverize the moment Pyke pulls them in, and it's not the worst thing to deal with. Supernova, though, they do have their item breakpoints. They do have where they're strong, but Radiance right now has a really, really, really hard go engage composition.
And that's also the fun way to deal with it, and that is the ability that you have when you have something like a Karma, when you have that solid flex pick in there. Looking down it, though, we see a defiantly heavy engage coming out of Radiance, and a little bit, I would say, all-in potential, but not as heavily engaging, especially with the Corki, you know, being able to jump out, and the Ezreal able to skirmish a lot better. But I love the engage from both these compositions. I feel like we're going to get a lot of team fights toward that mid to late game.
Yeah, and I mean, you have decent transitions coming out from Radiance here. You know, Kled, Sivir are the ones that you're kind of looking at. They need to get towards those 2 item breakpoints. But Syndra, the moment you get Luden's Echo, you can start to deal a lot with the Corki. Same thing with Olaf. The moment you get Warrior, you start to deal a lot of damage. Whereas for Supernova, you need the Corki up to 1 item. You need the Ezreal up to 2 items. But again, Ezreal is the lowest economy bot laner in the game. He only needs about 5,100 gold, 5,200 gold to become relevant. He gets the tier item, gets the Iceborne Gauntlet, and if he decides to go into the Trinity Force to try to get a bit more damage, he can go towards that as well. It's a bit more expensive, but it's not the worst thing for him. The thing is, Supernova need that J4 to make an impact before the Olaf hits 6 and before Radiance starts to hit that transition point where Olaf and Syndra have 1 item and start to overpower Supernova, allowing for the Sivir and Kled to hit 2 items, and they start to snowball.
Yeah, and that transition point is going to be extremely important. We'll have to see, as you said, Pycake Lord, possibly the final cog in this master plan. You know, make sure to keep Atheris a little bit off hand and make sure to keep him down in terms of CS, or match him at the same time. Make sure he's not able to get that charge off properly. So that's going to be one lane to watch. And now I like this also difference in the jungle, right? J4 versus Olaf, 2 very aggressive early game champions. Olaf known for being able to run down an enemy jungler fairly quickly, and J4 with some of the best level 2 ganks in the game, honestly, with that flag and drag. So I have to get your opinion there. You know, where do you think those junglers are going to really focus?
I mean, my biggest issue right now is coming out from Fnatic. I can't read, by the way.
Fnatic, sorry.
There we go. Fnatic over there. The J4, the issue with it is that he doesn't have that much gank setup unless you look towards the bot lane. With the Alistar, Pulverize, Headbutt Pulverize, you have a lot of poke in the top lane, you have slows, but it's still a Kled, right? So it doesn't really matter all too much. My bigger thing is, can you zone out Cat Evolve, help Sudsy build a bit of a CS lead? Can you zone out Arthurius in that top lane and make it even more difficult for him to get towards his item points? The thing is, Fnatic over there cannot gank properly into these kinds of lanes. You have a safe lane in the bot lane, you have a pretty safe mid lane, or you have a pretty safe top laner. His job is to delay the inevitable, stop those 1 item points from happening, and especially stop those 2 item breakpoints. For the side of Radiance, they need to be about half an item to an item ahead of Radiance. Supernova needs to be an item to half an item ahead of Radiance to keep this game going in their favor.
All right, well, we'll have to see if they're able to pull it off again. We will have to take a look and see, you know, who feels, see if it works and everything of the sort, you know, see who comes out in this first game and really make it happen, because I can't wait to see these 2 teams battle it out on the Rift once again. But before we do go into that short break before game number 1, I do want to talk about one of our fantastic sponsors, Kono. Kono, if you're looking for to take your game to the next level, it all starts with your peripherals. Everything from keyboards to keycaps, mice, and more, Kono has you covered. They work with some of the most amazing designers, inventors, and makers across the globe to really help you get the most out of your gaming gear. So if you are looking for a new keyboard or any new pieces to your setup, please, we can't recommend anyone more than Kono. So for more information, go ahead and head over to kono.store to check out all that they have to offer. So with that, we will be going to a short intermission, but we will be right back for game number 1 between Radiance and Supernova. Don't go anywhere.
There's no time for redemption. Those flags you wave, will they hold up? Don't cry for your vengeance. It's right there to take. If you want it, the world is watching. Here's your judgment. Here's your reckoning. Write your story down. Into history. Pride and country. You could have everything. So bring home the glory alive. Go and rise for your nation. There's so much at stake. Will you show up? Oh, it's about damn time for a little salvation. Those flags you wave represent them. The world is watching. Here's your judgment. Here's your reckoning. Write your story down. Into history. Pride and country. You could have everything. So bring home the glory alive. Here's your judgment. Here's your reckoning. So go and bring home.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 1 between these two fantastic teams. We have Radiance on the blue side. We have Atheris representing in that top side, War Machine Hyper in that jungle, Cat Evolved in that mid lane, and Jurassic in Winter rounding out the bottom lane.
And now, and on the red side, we have Supernova, the winners of the Open Qualifier. Pie Cake Lord in the top lane, Fnatic in the jungle, Sudsy in the mid lane, Value and I Will Find You in the bot lane. Again, for the side of Supernova, you know, their bot lane has been praised as one of the best throughout amateur, especially looking at Value. I guess you can say he brings a value towards Supernova that, you know, again, he has been so valuable in their bot lane. You know, he's always the one that's building a lead. Even though Sudsy has been doing well, it's been Value without really much resources. He's been the one building a gold lead, doing quite a bit. Sudsy does require a bit of resources. The Pie Cake Lord, when he does play those bruisers, does require quite a bit of help. We do look at the jungle paths for both junglers here. We do see a leash coming out from the top lane. I do like how Hyper opted into not getting a leash from anyone. It's very important for his lanes to be able to create pressure. So you see that Jurassic and Winter are just going to continue to push out value. They have the hyper aggression early. Just with that Pike Q, just look at the damage that's going to go on to value here. And I mean, top lane for the Kled, he's eventually going to get poked out by Pike Cake Lord. It's better for him to get a few minions and allow for Pike Cake Lord to push the lane in. If you look in the top lane, we already saw the minions starting to push in towards the Kled, which is really good for him. He can control the wave there and wait for Hyper to eventually go back up there. Already pings towards the top side, and that's most likely going to be where he goes after Winter, though. Trying to get a bit cheeky here.
Yeah.
Bot lane following through.
Yeah, and actually reset the blue, which is a solid play. Delay that jungle pathing just a little bit.
Yeah, and this is what happens when you have advantages in your bot lane. This is why Hyper was okay in not having a leash, because now he just goes over and messes around with the J4. Alistar's there, but it doesn't matter, because Hyper's at almost full HP and already has his buffs.
Oh, a nice hook over that wall, though. Does get a little bit of poke damage down. Doesn't get the stun down, though.
Good pulverize.
That will be Winter. Having to walk away kind of sadly, same as War Machine.
Yeah, really good pulverize there. Does stop the engage coming out from Winter. But again, you're just delaying Fnatic's clear. That's all you really want to do here. Bad trade in the top lane, though. Trying to just get his wave to push a little bit so that he can bring it back. Trying to get that 40-60 wave manipulation towards his favor here. So it is not in a favorable position for him. That if Fnatic is able to get up there, it'll most likely be a flash blown, and Fnatic is pathing up towards topside. They do ping it out. They do have a feeling that he's up there. They have him warded as well in the tri-bush. But it doesn't really matter. They need for that wave to continue to push, get to the tower, and eventually bounce back towards the Kled.
That is exactly what they want, and nice little knock up there onto Winter. That's the level 3 engage that they're hoping for. And you always want to try and abuse that level advantage as often as you can, but you can already see down the line, everyone is sitting fairly stable with both junglers already attempting an early gank, and no one really gaining anything out of it, but a nice gold lead for the side of Supernova already.
Yeah, and I mean, again, it's to be expected. It's nothing that that Radiance isn't, like, they're not worried about it. 1,000 gold lead in favor of Supernova so far, and that's just because you have two Klepto champions with the Ezreal, with the Karma. The thing that Pie Lord has been super efficient on is getting his abilities off, getting 2 autos, get another ability off, 2 autos. Always getting the most amount of gold possible. And it's why we're seeing such a huge gold lead here. We go look at the gold, 200 in favor of the Karma. You see 500 in favor of value. And that's just so massive. Now, again, Cat Evolve is going to have to back here. And this is where I didn't agree with the Ignite play. Just simply for the fact that now he's going to have to back in an inoptimal time. Going to most likely lose a couple minions here. He did back on the Siege minion wave. It's still not a good time. Flash by Winter.
Yeah, an amazing flash into Pulverize is going to bring him down. Have to bring that jump away, but that is a flash. Actually,
that's really
multiple
bad.
Summoners burned on the bottom lane, so that is actually huge for the side of Radiance, but you can already see Supernova attempting to gain some priority in that bottom side because, again, that is an Infernal for the first dragon. You definitely don't want to give that up.
The thing is, you just burned 4 summoners for nothing on the side of Radiance. I mean, I don't really understand why Supernova would go for a play like that. I know you're trying to get bot lane priority, but again, it's still a Sivir pre-nerf here, so she can still just WQ the wave and bring it back to a 50-50 lane manipulation. So it's not the best of plays. Olaf is going to show in the top side, going to try to push Pie Cake Lord out. But I mean, Like, it doesn't really matter. Charge is used in the top lane, but J4 is also towards the top lane, and they know this, so Dragon is still safe.
Yes, it is, and that is both teams attempting to make some sort of play. This is a very quiet early game in terms of what's been going on lately. So already just cresting that 6 minute and 50-second mark. I mean, yeah, both teams just kind of jostling for position. That lead of about 800 gold for Supernova has not changed. That does mean that Radiance have kind of mitigated some of the early game. Nice take on some of the chickens, but Hyper will pick up that large one. That is the most important one to grab.
And I mean, on your point of, it's been staying at 800, and it makes sense that it would stay at 800, right? Because the game state that is here for Radiance, for Supernova, Radiance wants to hit towards 2 items, Supernova wants to hit that 1 item power spike. And until you hit that, you're really not going to see anything happening. It's going to be the blue transfer over to Cat Evolve. We are still waiting for Sudsy to get his blue as well. So right now, Cat Evolve will be able to just do what he wants, clear the wave, no real pressure onto him. He doesn't really care. He's still waiting to get to that Luden's Echo and then start putting damage onto Sudsy. He was forced to go the double Doran's ring, which is going to delay him quite a bit. Again, Sudsy still doing fairly well into this matchup. Gold lead's still even, but again, Sudsy's the one that needs around, 3,733, I think it is, for Trinity Force. So he's still quite a bit away from getting that, but once he gets that, he's going to be ridiculously strong, and it's going to not be a good time for Cat Evolved unless he's going to be able to do just Syndra things and get the one shot.
Very much so. And that is something that has to be stated is honestly, Syndra doesn't really win that matchup unless they can get an early kill onto the Corki. So, I mean, a Cat Evolved and Hyper are able to make it happen. Be a huge win for them, but unfortunately the wards are stifling them. You actually see multiple wards in the ward line drawn for the side of Supernova all along that bottom side, but a nice little jump in on the top side of Theris, trying to lay it down into Piecake Lord, but only getting a small tick. That heal is fairly large and makes him happy. Fortunate Pike miss there. It's going to be a possibility, but again, you already see the unevenness as Winter still waiting on that level 6. A little bit dangerous for the side of Radiance.
I do like what Supernova is doing here, though. They're creating bot lane priority before they go towards the roam. Sudsy does have package, so for the side of Radiance, they're most likely going to have to concede this dragon. They cannot fight this. Even though it's an Infernal Dragon, you are not at your itemization points, and Sudsy has package. Alistar looking to Hex Dex Flash is not going to be good.
On the hunt has been popped. An immediate combo right back in, and a nice wombo combo coming out of Supernova. Secures 1 kill already. That's going to be the dragon going down as well. Oh, but Skarl is coming in on that charge, and if Theris wants a piece of it, but immediately fast to flash back out. A nice little knock there is going to knock him off of Skarl, and he actually gets knocked back into the team. And unfortunately, that is the second kill going to Supernova. Beautiful reactionary engage coming out. Secures them 2, plus the dragon.
Yeah, kind of stereotypical plays that we see come out from Radiance. And, going back and looking at their games, most teams throughout Amateur make this mistake where, they see Infernal Dragon, they need to go for the dragon. In this case, you lose so much more than what you would have if you would have just conceded the Drake. You give up 2 kills on top of First Blood. Yes, one of the kills went on to the Alistar, the First Blood, but another one of them went on to the Corki. Now the Corki sits, 22 CS above his lane. And, now that 1 item power spike is going to come a lot sooner. And Radiance is basically going to have to turtle and wait and hope to God that they can hit close to 2 items very soon. They are looking towards Rift Herald, but it is warded out almost instantaneously.
They don't want to lose another objective across the board, so were trying to posture for it, but we see Winter sitting in that mid lane, clearing out vision, and honestly, Supernova has been on point with those pink wards, keeping the ward line very firmly in the middle of the lane and showing that they are not afraid to scrap for any of these sorts of things. While Radiance is attempting to force things out, I believe that is going to be a small attempt at the Rift Herald as well. Hook actually misses, and that's going to be a nice chunk actually out on Winter. Oh, Arcane Barrage, good flash out as Winter saves himself from possible death.
Thing is, on the top side, Rift Herald is being started, gonna be taken down by Radiance. J4 not really looking to do anything with it. They are trying to go for the dive here onto Jurassic. This is not...
Oh, a nice flash pulverize does mean Jurassic is running, but that is going to be Jurassic surviving it. Now Value and I Will Find You have to run for their lives right now, but Catapult is right there. Nice stun over the wall, is going to collect that kill. Value not in the right place. Here they go again, but that is going to be the flash down from I Will Find You as well, so this could be an easy kill. Hook locks him over the side. Unbreakable Will has been popped as well. Actually, hasn't been popped, I'm so sorry. War Machine collecting that kill onto the cow and immediately even right back up.
Yep, on top of that, you get the ult coming out from Winter, so that's just extra gold. But that is a lot of turret platings taken in the top lane. 2 plates taken. Rift Herald is popped, so they're going to try to get some more gold here. But Sudsy is fairly strong. Shelly will smash into the mid tower, getting them 2 plates. That's all Shelly is going to do here. Again, really greedy coming out from Supernova. They know that they need to continue to push their advantage, but pushing it like that is definitely not how you want to be doing it.
They do not. They went for the play. It did backfire just a little bit, but they still are up about 1,000 gold, so they do have that little bit of leniency there, especially with that Infernal Drake that will start stacking up quite a bit. At the start, you do have that nice chunk of 10% extra ability power and attack damage, so I mean, you know, that gold lead, not just 1k, more like about 1.5 at this point, I would feel.
Yeah, no. I mean, either way, the gold lead is still in favor of Supernova. And now we're most likely just going to get into the point. Turret platings will fall in about 20 seconds here, where now everyone's just looking to farm. Turret platings aren't there anymore, so the hyper-aggressiveness of the junglers is most likely going to die down quite a bit here. And you're going to most likely just see more farming. We do see the Kled staying even in the top lane and farm, even though the Karma is going to stay ahead because of Kleptomancy. Doesn't really matter all too much. You're still just looking to get the Kled to 2 items, and that is where things will start to go well for the side of Radiance.
You see large CS differences in that mid and bottom lane for Supernova and Radiance, so that will have to be closed up if Radiance want a chance at this mid game on this second dragon. That is going to be a Mountain Dragon coming up, so 2 of the most prized dragons possibly going in the hands of Supernova, depending on how this dragon attempt is taken here in about, I want to say a couple minutes, as it has just spawned.
And I mean, it's not the most important thing. Like, again, a Mountain Dragon is still very good, but it's also very situational. That if you're just pushing the enemy team into the base, it doesn't really matter. It only helps if you're the one taking objectives and you're the one pushing. And once 2 items comes along for Radiance, it most likely won't be Supernova pushing. You're better off just conceding the dragon for now, unless you can start to get pressure in that mid and bot lane. Package is used already, and that's kind of huge. Radiance doesn't have this, or Supernova doesn't have this anymore. So now Radiance can look to try to get something.
Yeah, you see the collapse actually coming in. TP available for Piecake Lord, actually just about coming up here in just a couple seconds. So they are waiting. Here comes Skull charging in on Sudsy, but actually misses. They are going to collapse on him. He doesn't have anything available to him. That's going to be the Unleashed Power knocking into Sudsy, and that's going to be the shutdown. Nice multi-stun for the Scout of the Week as well. Makes Supernova scatter to the wind, as I Will Find You is going to be the sacrificial lamb, trying to get another kill, but no. Kill from below. Winter claiming 2 kills there, getting his team an extra 600 gold, and all of a sudden Radiance back in the lead.
Yep, very big misplay there coming out from Supernova. Very, very questionable. They should have gone towards the dragon the moment Sudsy had the package, but they just decided not to play the video game at that point. It's going to be a tower taken in the top lane here for Piecake Lord. He's trying to continue his dominance here. But again, bot lane tower is going to be traded. It's still the first tower going over towards Pancake Lord. So pretty good trade there. Most likely the mid tower here going to fall as well. Again, backing without mid lane priority is a cardinal sin. And it's going to cost you this mid lane tower as well. And now it's going to almost even up the gold lead. Still about 300 in favor of Radiance. But I don't know how long this will last. Corky now sitting at an item, Ezreal sitting at 2. This is where they start to come online and have the advantage for at least another 5 to 10 minutes.
And you would assume that, Radiance are also going to be a little bit more aggressive. You actually see the ward line pushed up as well. You see 2 in the bottom side of Supernova's blue side. Another one over on the Baron Pit bush, as I call it at least. But that is the advantage of being a little bit more aggressive. We actually see here Atheris coming down on the bottom side. Sudsy getting roped in, and that's going to be the drag down. Sudsy doesn't have the flash available. No other defensive summoners. He's just going to be run down and chased. Yordle on Yordle action. That's going to be the shotgun possibly coming out here. Nope, just a swing of the halberd. Takes himself a solo kill.
Yeah, and this is why you ban Kled. It very much surprises me that he made it through, seeing as though his win rate skyrocketed so much. Seen him throughout amateur.
Yep,
It's on Scatter of the Week, but just Syndra things. Don't worry about it. Very fun. They're buffing the next patch, by the way.
The outplay button right there, and that might be another one, as I Will Find You is also locked down. Death from below claims another life. 3rd kill for Winter coming out. Has to feel good about that. They are now approximately 2.3k up, with all lanes shoving in their favor, except for bottom lane.
Yeah, this is terrible for Supernova here. You have a team composition that really excels at, that 1 to 2 item mark. And right now, the team composition that scales really well into the late game is now beating you with Kled coming in too.
Yep, here we go. Scarl charging all the way and actually misses as Fnatic and Sudsy both get out of the way in time. Poke coming over the wall, Value trying to lay down the suppressive fire. Same as Piecake Lord. Radiance on the run here, trying to get away, and Missile Barrage is actually landing quite a bit. So, I'm not too worried about that. And as well as the fact that Baron isn't on the table, Radiance are okay kind of walking away from this.
Yep. I mean, right now for the side of Supernova, they need to regroup. They need to, reset that mental just a little bit here and try to look for something. They're slowly losing their grip on this game. And you now have Cat Evolved at 2 items. You have the Sivir sitting on quite a bit of gold, or she should be sitting on about 1,500 gold. So she'll get another BF sword. You have the Kled getting towards that Titanic Hydra. Still doesn't have boots, or fully completed boots at this point. But at this point, it really doesn't matter. Baron coming up here in about 5 seconds. This is most likely going to be the objective for Supernova here, or for Radiance here, that they do have a pretty half decent Baron take with the Olaf, with the Kled, with the Sivir. So once 2 items come online for Jurassic, it'll most likely be the attempt towards the Baron, trying to push out Vision, and that's their main goal. Obtain mid priority, continue to push that through, and go together as a team and establish Vision in that top red quadrant.
That is the attempts here. We do have a win rate coming up here in about 10 seconds, so that's going to be the next objective, possibly taken for both sides. Both sides sitting at a dragon apiece, so that's something they do want to hold, but here we go. Piecake Lord is getting found out right now. The tether does land, but the tether in response is there, and that's going to be Axis thrown and a kill taken. Here we go on the Baron attempt as well on the other side of the map. They are trying to reactionary objective take here. I'm not sure if they'll be able to take it very quickly, though. You already see Winter moving over, and that signals the retreat. So Supernova definitely on the losing side of this macro game push from Radiance.
Yep. Again, you cannot go for Baron without mid lane priority. So now they get free hits onto the mid tower. They get the dragon as well, and it just looks free. Again, one of the biggest things emphasized throughout pro play is the value of mid lane priority. And without it, you cannot go for plays like this. This allows Radiant to push up mid freely. It allows for them to have pressure towards the Drake. Because here's the thing. Hyper can always pull off of the Drake. But if you lose your mid T2 tower, that thing's gone. Dragons come and go, but you still need your structures up. It allows for Radiance to just freely take the dragon. Pie Cake Lord caught out again.
Yeah, this time he does have the flash available, but they might just tower dive this. Ragnarok is popped as well. Shields are up. Axe is connecting, though. Might be one more hit, and there it is. Hyper does collect himself a kill. He is now 2-0-1. All-Star here trying to find a little bit of an advantage, but Jurassic is also here to help cover his jungler. And Radiance get away with a solid pick there.
Yeah, this is just terrible rotations coming out from the side of Supernova. I really don't know what they're trying to do here. You send I will find you bot lane, but you're not finding anything. Like, it just makes no sense coming out from Supernova. And maybe, you know, it's just first game jitters. It doesn't really matter all too much. But right now, Radiance is looking like the Radiance of old. With Hyper on this, you know, very aggressive jungler. They have built a gold lead. Now the Sivir at 2 items, Syndra at 2.5. And all importantly, now that Kled at 2 items. This is when things are going to start to become serious for Radiance.
And honestly, looking at it right now, Supernova are on the back foot, obviously, down about 5k. What do they need to happen here to really start ramping their way back in? Do they need to find a pick? Are they looking for more just safe farming advantages? What do they need to do?
You just need Corki to scale, and you need that J4 to hit a massive disengage. That's your only hope at this point. Ezreal is eventually going to do quite a bit of damage going towards that Bork build, which I would have more expected maybe to go... Well, actually, he needs to be the full AD damage. Baron is being started up by Hyper here, which is interesting, to say the least. He is getting quite a bit low here. They are going to stay on the Baron, but eventually going to pull off. It has been spotted out. They're just trying to choke out Fnatic here. And that's really all they have to do. Continue to choke him out. Make sure that he can't really farm other than lanes. And you'll eventually get to a point where the towers are going to start falling. That mid T2 is most likely the next objective for Radiant on top of the vision control. And that's where most likely Supernova is either going to try to win this game or they're going to lose complete control of this.
Yeah, here we go, Pie Cake Lord trying to find a little bit of an advantage, try and catch out Winter. We do see Catapult on that top side pushing out just a little bit, so that does draw Fnatic over to the Baron, clear out that pink ward, trying to get vision for his team here. But again, that is Supernova really on the back foot with these macro game rotations. They are playing defensive. You actually look at their ward line again, you actually see multiple pinks on the top side of their own jungle. Oh, but this could be bad. Winter looking for that pull. We go. Skarl charging all the way in. Sudsy caught out on the wrong side of the map here. Nice fly over. Flasher flash, but doesn't connect. But he does get the hook, and that is going to be Sudsy going down here. Doesn't have a whole lot of mana. Death from below collects that once more. He is now 4-1-1. Winter sitting on that rampage.
Yeah, this is most likely... Oh, no, yeah. They should be able to get out here.
Oh, they're going even further, though. Ragnarok is popped as well. Even through the Unbreakable Will, not going to stop that kill coming through. They're going to charge their way through. And Radiance looking to put an end to this game number 1.
Yeah, no, they pushed mid lane priority with Jurassic, and now they're just going to go take the Baron. This is the freest thing you ain't never seen in your life. They're going to clear out the vision. They're going to have Winter be kind of the scout here. He's one of the only champions, that and Rakan, that can just go around and do anything. Value, goodbye. Goodbye.
It's such a solid pick there from Catapult. Does stuff that possible steal attempt. And we actually see a flash over the wall. Atheris trying to save his teammate, and they do. Fnatic unable to finish off a kill, and all 5 members of Radiance get that Baron buff. They will have a field day rushing this base down.
See, this is just one of those times that you're just smashing your keyboard at this point. Like, how the hell does Cat Evolved get out of there alive? Clean game right now coming out from Radiance, 13-2. Again, They're learning from their mistakes that they've had over the past few weeks, that even though they haven't lost many series, they have lost quite a few games as the roster has changed a little bit. And right now, they're looking really good. Hyper kind of just choking out Fnatic at this point, 3-0-3. But the main point is still Cat Evolved being able just to delete value off of the map. This is now the second time that he's done it. And it is just looking really good right now for Radiant's 10k gold lead. And now it's going to bulge up even more.
Yeah, and also getting that second Wind Dragon right there, or the Air Drake, is actually going to spell a lot of trouble coming out for Supernova. This means Radiance have an opportunity to really rotate around the map faster. They're able to pressure these lanes that much more and keep the Baron alive on all 3 lanes without losing
Go for the tower, guys.
that individual play style. They're trying to duel in that topside Pike Lord, and the Shoe Shot Barrage does not land on any priority members. We're already seeing some advantages coming out. Theris diving once again under the tower, goes back in as well, does get rooted up just a little bit. Skarl has been popped and he's charging for it, does get the root once more. Now he has to run for his life. As we see, Fnatic here does get the slam down. That is going to be the shutdown. His first kill of the game. Fnatic trying his best to keep this game alive.
I know, even though bot lane tower will go down, I Will Find You is not going to be able to find almost anything.
Oh, Unbreakable Wall has been popped. There it is. They jump all the way, but a nice scout of the week. Stuff set engage, and in goes the Ragnarok. The GA has been popped,
Okay,
but a nice kill coming out of Jurassic. Backline is firing on all cylinders.
Wow.
And Viper gets that kill. He's still alive. But that is going to be kill on the backside as well. And so far, a 2-4-3 across the board so far. Winter looking for another one. He still has another ult, but the Zanyas is going to hold it down. The stopwatch is there, but gets dragged out of the flag and drag himself. So a 4-4-1, or 4-4-2, I should say, across the board there does mean that the inhibitor will fall and possibly the game as well.
Yeah, the game's over at this point. 5 members strong, or 4 members strong in the base right now. Good teleport there coming out. That's going to be the second next tower going down. And 29 minutes into the game, very clean victory coming out from Radiance. And they are just looking dominant as ever. Looking towards the next couple of games, if you're Supernova, you need to ban that Olaf. You cannot allow Hyper to be on this aggressive of a jungler. I like the Lee Sin ban. I like the Gragas ban. You need to put in that Olaf ban or you are going to lose. Definitely the Pike as well. You can kind of leave up the Gragas. You can leave up the Lee Sin. It hasn't been Hyper's best, but the Olaf needs to be banned. That Pike needs to be banned. And most likely that Kled, he was able to stay even with Pike Lord, even though he must have been so frustrated playing against a Karma top. He still was able to find engages, has 10 KP out of 18. Just overall, a really solid game, and it looks like Radiance of old.
That it is, and honestly, on the other side, you know, what do Supernova need to do besides just banning out? I mean, it looked like even with other champions, they might be struggling a little bit, or do you think it was all in that draft?
They lost draft. They lost it really hard. Your only real chance was getting ahead. As we take a look at the statistics, we just look at that damage graph, and we see Cat Evolve doing the most damage in the game. Cat Evolved has such a versatile pool of champions that you can't ban him out. You really can't. They banned the Cassiopeia against him, and he was still able to do so well. I mean, that crowd control score, I think it was 24. The next highest was 25 coming out from the Karma. Like, he was just a monster on the Syndra. So definitely for Supernova, they need to rethink their draft. That right now, the draft that they had, very poke heavy, doesn't work into their format. You want to let Pie Lord split. You want value, and I Will Find You to have a dominating lane. And you need to do something different. Sudsy, not his best performance. That's why they banned out the Tristana. He has been doing well on it. But for Radiance, they are looking really dominating. But for Supernova, they need to change up their draft.
All right, well, we'll have to see if they're able to do that, but we will be right back with game number 2 to see if Radiance can take it to a 2-0 and put Supernova on the back foot, or if we're going to see Supernova hit back and really take it into a hard-fought series. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Gentlemen, for game number 2 between Supernova and Radiance, both these squads put up a decent fight in the early game of game number 1, but Radiance really pulling ahead after a couple nice objective takes and closing it out in commanding fashion in just about 26 minutes. I mean, I don't think that's what anyone was really expecting in terms of that far of a shutout.
Yeah, I mean, you more expected things to go more in favor of Supernova here for a little bit longer, but eventually Radiance was in position to take it. And the thing is, they played more like how SKT, where they knew where their advantages were, they knew where their disadvantages were. They were okay in giving up certain things, even though that first dragon was a huge mistake and they should not have done it, and it did cost them more in the early game than it should have. They still bounced back pretty well. They hit that 2-item power spike, and they just rolled the game from there. There was absolutely nothing that Supernova can do, and a lot of that is attested towards their draft. You go look at the bans from last game. You had Cassiopeia, Gragas, Lee Sin. You cannot do that again. They're going to go again with the Gragas. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's still one of Hyper's top played champions. So you do want to kind of sit him down just a little bit. Sejuani going to be the response ban as well. Oh my god, they're going to Cassiopeia again.
Yep, and solid bans all around so far. And again, this is Cat Evolved not getting one of his most played champions, but we saw him on that Syndra, like you said, fairly strong. Once again, though, that early game was a little bit slow. So that might be possible to abuse, but we're not sure. So I'm very interested to see if they are able to do it. But so far, bans are pretty much the same across the board. Do you think we will see that Azir ban coming out, or possibly that Corki as well?
Coming out from Radiance, maybe. Supernova kind of seem to just be sticking to their guns here. They're going to ban the Olaf, though, which is good. They need to not allow Hyper on that champion for the rest of the series. So it's most likely going to be banned out for the rest of each. Boris is still available with that Aatrox, as is Yuumi. Don't know if they're willing to ban it here, as Azir and Corki are still up as well.
Yeah, and it's been strong, and now you see Radiance possibly banning out the Karma, not allowing it through on that draft phase. So saying we're not sure if we want to allow it, but an immediate Sylas pickup for Supernova. Not wanting to let that one slip, and we're already seeing some very nice priorities coming.
Yeah, I do like that Sylas pickup, even though it's going to get absolutely gutted next patch. So this is probably going to be the last week that we see it in, amateur, in professional. It's just not going to be played anymore, with the damage to the Q being just absolutely demolished. But we do see one of the most common junglers in the game being locked in here, Lee Sin. Going to be a lock here for Hyper. And it's a good matchup into the Sylas. He can get leads early. And that's really what is important here for Radiance with the Lee Sin lock-in. You need to get those leads early. I'm surprised they don't lock into kind of other things. But with the Aatrox, now it makes a bit more sense why you're picking the Lee Sin. You want to get that Aatrox ahead because he's going to be the one that's going to pull up some 1v2s, and he's going to be the one that's going to carry.
I mean, 1v2s, 1v3s, 1v4s, depending on how you let him roll, he'll take on the entire team if he gets that option. So solid pickups, like you said, across the board. We'll have to see if Aatrox is facing that Sylas or not. We are looking for a possible pick up here in that bottom lane. Sivir locked in, and as you stated, the option of the Pyke or the Alistar is still available, but again, Yuumi is also available as well. We definitely have not seen the supports, fluctuate a little bit towards those Sorcerer and Enchantress supports, and Nautilus locked in as well. Another very slight flex pick there.
Yeah, I do like the Naughty Lust locked in here for Supernova. It dissuades the Yuumi quite a bit and kind of forces things like Ashe TK to come out, things like Morgana to come out. So for the side of it, Supernova now, they're most likely going to have to ban things like the Caitlyn, like the Jhin, if they don't want Sivir to be in that bad of a matchup. Same thing for the Nautilus. Camille, though, going to be the ban out from Radiance. They do have the next pick, so they are in a pretty dominant position.
Banning out the Camille once again. Don't want to give that to Piecake Lord, saying, "Nah, we're not giving you that option to 1v1 anyone." And we do see the opportune ADC bans coming out from Supernova. I really do like these opportunities for teams when they realize that the pick phase has been staggered a little bit. They aren't matching. You can target focus a certain role. You know, give yourself a nice matchup, so to speak.
Lucian is banned out, as is the Riven. So now it just depends what Supernova do here for their last ban. They are going to ban away the Xayah, so you do leave Caitlyn Morgana up, and that's a very hyper-aggressive lane. And with someone like Lee Sin, you can put Jurassic and Winter disgustingly ahead with a lock-in like that. You still have other options like the Kai'Sa still available, but I definitely think Caitlyn might be the wave, but okay. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. I like it. That's some big boy energy right there. It's not Draven, it's a Draven. Gonna be locked in for Radiance. I like it. This is what I want to see from Radiance. They had kind of a passive bot lane. The Pyke still was able to be kind of aggressive, but now you're going full send here with the Draven Morgana. This is what I like to see from Radiance.
When you gotta send it, you just gotta send it, right? Like that's all you can do right there. That will mean that the bottom lane is a little bit primed for a J4 Cataclysm Supernova, running it back with that jungle, with that jungler. But Renekton picked into the top side against the Aatrox. I like that possible duel in the top side, but we will have to look for that mid lane. That does look like a Sylas in the mid lane. So Azir still left on the table. Cat Evolved looking to possibly pick up one of the premier mid laners in the current meta.
I mean,
oh nope, never mind, Corki.
No, it's either going to be Corki or it's going to be Azir. Like, you don't troll like that. They're always pick or ban here. So you're going to see one or the other at this point on this patch, in this meta. Even with the nerfs that are coming next patch, you're still probably going to see them. Though Radiance now, they do have the late game secured with the Corki, with the Aatrox as well. My only concern right now for the side of Radiance is how well this Draven will scale. We have seen Jurassic and Winter pop off in the bot lane, but if they get behind, it's basically doomed for the side of Radiance. That for Supernova, you have the late game scaling with the Sivir, you have late game scaling with the Sylas, you have a lot of peel with the J4 Nautilus Renekton. So for Supernova, I like the draft that they've done this time. They didn't just outright, lose the game in draft this time. They have drafted something very competitive, and they have the opportunity now to put up a fight against Radiance, unlike last game where it didn't really seem like that.
Yeah, and that is always going to be the interesting factor as well. We have to see if they can make it work. And again, different styles coming out here. Radiance definitely going for a little bit more, I want to say skirmish heavy, not so much a massive front of sorts, a little bit with that Draven. You want to look at that focus on the bottom lane, expect to see that advantages being forced forward, and I can't wait to see if they can make it work. But again, looking down, I mean, Supernova definitely drafted, I feel, a little bit better in terms of an all-around style.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, the thing is, for Supernova, you can attest that last game to draft. And, when they look back at this series, they're going to say, yeah, we kind of threw game one in this draft. Like, our bans weren't the best. Yes, the Lee Sin that you banned is now picked, but that Olaf is so much more devastating. So a lot of what teams do, especially when you get into 5v5s, is you ban out the same thing over and over and over again, and teams will eventually hyper-focus on that when you leave it up. So you're going to ban out the Lee Sin, you're going to ban out the Gragas the first game, you're going to leave one up, instantly Radius, we saw it in the draft, pick it up. So maybe it is Supernova just baiting them in. Lee Sin now not in the most favorable matchup versus the J4. He more assumed that it's going to be Sylas jungle. Most of us assume that it's going to be Sylas jungle. But again, Sylas can be flexed into the mid, jungle top, up until next patch. So it's not the worst thing to see. Again, Supernova having a much more competitive team composition versus kind of a solo queue-esque team comp that they drafted around last year.
Yeah, and we did have a slight technical difficulty on that lobby making, so we will have people up and running here shortly to get into game number 2, because again, this is wearing down on people, and the weights are a little bit difficult to deal with as well. I mean, if you look at it all the way around, you know, you want to keep the momentum rolling with these compositions, with these teams. It is always quite difficult to secure that lead, but once you have that momentum, it steamrolls. And with Radiance slight underdogs here, I mean, they gotta be pumped for this match.
I mean, the most important games of a best-of-5 series is game 2, and if it goes to game 4, then game 4. That with game 2, you're either going to have a team that's up 2-0, and it's a massive lead they can kind of throw around 1 or 2 games, or you're going to have basically a best-of-3 series for the rest of the night at that point. So it's going to be a basically must-win here for the side of Supernova. If Radiance wins this, they most likely take the championship, unless, you know, Radiance turns into TSM and decides to blow a 2-0 lead. Then, you know, by all means, please continue. But, you know, for this game, it is extremely important here that Supernova win if they want a chance to continue to play out the series.
Yeah, and we see everyone kind of getting information here. I definitely want to take a look, though, because I want to get your opinions here. Last time, we had talked a little bit about the jungle matchup, but this time around, that bottom lane seems to be the focus here, especially with that Draven in the lane. You either want to shut him down, or you're praying that he pops off. Do you think we'll be seeing a lot of packages down to the bot lane and a lot of teleports and resources allocated to that bottom lane as well?
I mean, you have to. In a lane like this, you need resources to that Draven, because if he cashes out, we saw it in Twitch Rivals, right? Draven comes in, Tyler won, he gets a kill. It was like 1,400 gold off of a kill, and you saw it on all the highlights, and they're like, "Oh, Pog, Draven! Oh my God!" That's the power of Draven. If you farm well, you get your adoration stacks up, and you get a kill, especially if it's a shutdown. Sweet mother of God, you just see the gold running in. You get that Shane McMahon money, 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 money. Like, he just rolls in the dough.
It really does, and it's terrifying. But on the flip side as well, he's also volatile in that set, due to the fact that, you know, if he does get behind, I mean, Sivir Nautilus, this is a combination that will immediately put you down for any mistakes that you have. The lockdown, the CC is devastating, even through a Black Shield sometimes. And I mean, you had the premier team composition with that J4, you know, with that Renekton, that automatic on-hit stun, right? The point and click. It's so dangerous for him to work like that. I mean, it'll be really, it feels like at least, whoever gets that initial aggressive move wins the whole game.
Yeah, no, and again, this bot lane should be Jurassic and Winter favored, and you have Hyper on the Lee Sin that should do well in hyper ganking scenarios here. We have seen more and more in Season 9 that it has been more hyper gank focused in comparison to farming. J4 is okay just to farm to 6. He wants to look for early game ganks, and it's definitely going to be up trying to help Piecake Lord. The way that Supernova has won a lot of their games is having Piecake Lord in that top lane, continuing to split push, being a nuisance, and just overall attracting 2, 3, 4 people to him, while the rest of the team goes and does Baron or Dragon or takes an inhibitor. And that's kind of what they've defaulted back to. The thing is, if Piecake Lord can't get a lead in this top lane, Aatrox is just going to roll through this game. We know the power of Aatrox. You and I personally both know this power. And it's not a fun time to see him 1v2 on just one item.
Yeah, that is true, but we will have to see as we do count down the clock to the spectator delay. But as we do, I want to talk about one of our other amazing sponsors, Midwest Esports. Midwest Esports has been around for many years, starting as a small student group out of Wichita State University. Since then, Midwest Esports has grown to be a veteran organizer of tournaments and events throughout the U.S. They host tournaments for games such as League of Legends, Rocket League, as well as Overwatch. For more information, check them out at MidwestEsports.com. With that, we will be going to a short break, but don't go anywhere as we come back to game number 2 between Radiance and Supernova. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome to the League of Dreams. Get better than this. This is where Draven shines. Let's admire me. Let's admire me. Draven. Let's admire me. Let's admire me. Don't be jealous. Let's admire me. Let's admire me. Hear that? Let's admire me. I have the best job. This is the move. Watch and learn. Yoink. I'll take that. Draven does it all. Let's do this. Something new, killing man. Hit him where it hurts. Too easy. Seems to be blood everywhere I go. Not Draven. Draven. Places to go. New see. Want some Draven? Come out and play. Got axes. Need victims. Why don't you know perfection? I got that. Let's admire me. Let's admire me. Draven. Let's admire me. Let's admire me. Don't be jealous. Let's admire me. Let's admire me. Draven. Let's admire me. Draven out.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 2 between Supernova and Radiance. We have possibly a massive game to be had as we do see a Draven on the board, and Radiance already trying a little cheeky invade here, but already spotted out by Silas.
Yeah, just going to be spotted out there. It's kind of stereotypical that you invade with the Morgana, Draven, Lee Sin. So all going to be spotted out. Wards, though, are going to be placed for the side of Supernova. That's going to be really important for them. They're going to know that Hyper is going to start towards that top side. And he really has no idea that Vision is going to be placed there. But they do get the ward on the enemy red buff. So both top laners are going to be known to, you know, where they're going to start. Now, the thing is, for Hyper, they do clear the ward. It has been more stereotypical that junglers do start the sweeper, however. But it's more likely now that Hyper is just going to make a path towards bot lane. And again, they need to get Jurassic and Winter ahead. That is the name of the game for the side of Radiance.
Yes, it is. We do see a Cole actually started on that mid lane. Cat Evolve also starting with that little slight hailstorm of bullets, starting out with that Gatling gun, making sure that he does aggress pretty heavily against a melee. And Lee Sin already clearing out his first buff, and that bottom lane actually, Jurassic losing his flash early to a level 2 gank coming out of Fnatic. So as we stated before, J4, one of the best early game gankers, and right there, and netted them a net win.
Yeah, I mean, Draven without flash, it's kind of not ideal, but it's not the biggest. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Pyke Lord dancing a bit.
Care.
Yeah, oh, but that's another jump onto Jurassic. Good damage going down as the hook did land. Guardian has been procced there, but not bad. And ooh, Sudsy missing that hook onto Cat Evolve. Chains not landing.
Yep. But Morgana just does not have Dark Binding right now. Has the Tormented Soil. Gonna continue to poke out here little by little. But until she's able to get that Dark Binding, not gonna be able to do much into this lane. Sivir, though, very aggressive. Gonna continue just to push the lane in over and over and over again. Cat Evolved. Oh my goodness.
Oh my lord, and Cat Evolved right there just said, okay, that hurt. I'll stop doing that. As he backs off slightly, has to chug his potion. But that's also something to be had, as Sudsy did go for that conducting potion first. We do see that lock up in that top side. Again, both laners going back to slightly quiet. Nice flash forward into the binding as we see a nice jump in. I will find you. Doesn't have flash. Good damage, but he gets the hook. Oh, Ignite almost burning all the way down, but that will burn the heal. So, bottom lane, a nice gank coming out of the Radiant side. Hyper. Oh, tower dive going in. Sudsy gets the first blood, but will pay with his life. But a nice tower dive does claim that kill.
That's pretty good for Sudsy. He wants to be aggressive into this lane. You don't want to let Cat Evolve get his cull as quick as humanly possible. So, not that bad of a trade. 2 summoners for 2 summoners, though, in the bot lane, and the dive in the top lane as well. 3-man top. Goodbye.
Yep. Just nothing even to be said. As quickly as we pointed it out, he went down, didn't even burn the flash, which I think is a very smart option. You already know you're getting tower dove, just don't lose that summoner. But still, aggressive plays coming out of Supernova, exactly what we were talking about.
Yep, you need Pycake Lord to get ahead in this lane. Again, I still do think that Radiant scale pretty well. Draven does do quite a bit of damage into the later game. It's just the fact that you have Sivir, you have so much wave clear now for the side of Supernova that it becomes kind of difficult. But, oh no.
Oh,
Gonna be able to slice and dice out.
Yeah. No, a little bit of I want to say a little bit of unappreciated, aggressiveness. Pycake Lord, he was sitting about half health that whole time and just kind of baiting Atheris to actually go in there. So playing a little bit on the dangerous side, but still doing very well for himself, up on an assist. Nice little chunks, though, coming out from Jurassic in that bottom lane.
Yeah, Executioner's Calling is built for Pycake Lord, and I like this. Especially into someone like Renekton. It's something that is essential. The passive heals so much, as well as the ultimate, that you need to reduce down that healing. So spending the Aatrox tax in that... Oh, no. He's dead.
Yep. Yeah, he is, because you actually see Lee Sin roaming around on the back side. He is going to land the kick there, but Spell Shield is going to hold him up. Value staying alive with that Spell Shield, having that in an aggressive stance does mean that it is not a 2 for 0, it is a 1 for 0. Oh, but unfortunately, he's laying on a ward right there. Nice flash into it as well. They're going to flash forward, and Fnatic is going to collect the return kill as well. Feels good, but still, already there. 1 kill on the Draven.
Yeah, that was a 520 gold kill going over towards the Draven. But again, very greedy back there from Hyper. I don't know why he wouldn't just go into the other bush to back and be closer towards his team. Really just odd plays overall coming out from him there. Either way, the gold lead's still relatively okay. Though Radiance wants to continue to get kills, Fnatic, though, be caught out trying to sneak the dragon. Gonna get chunked out. Probably gonna have to back here as well. That or just go towards his red buff. Try to heal up. Regardless of the fact, he's the one that does get 2 kills.
Yeah.
So he can't really go into the AD J4 that people like to see. You still need to go that Cinderhulk. We might see a Black Cleaver or something, but definitely needs to be that front line for the side of Supernova.
Yeah, Atheris actually missed the root going down on the Pike Lord, so that might mean a kill on this top side. Remember, he doesn't have the revive anymore, and that's just going to mean he has to leave. Solid job from Pike Lord right there, but that still might mean a possible dive under the tower. Yeah, Atheris actually saying that's going to be flash under tower. Pike Lord says, you overstayed, my friend. Meanwhile, in that jungle on that bottom side, it is going to be a fight. Mid lane, Catapult as well, getting hopped on. And there we go. The rest of the team is trying to come around. Binding not available, but Sudsy now has to run. He doesn't have flash available. They jump in. Warthog does get Hyper in there as well. Fnatic now on the wrong side of the map here. Hook actually goes out, lands onto Hyper. That's going to be a flash forward. Another hook root. Catapult running away right now. Value full health. Red buff waiting to be procced right now. The dog, the Corgi wants to keep running. A nice binding over the wall. Does land and a black shield as well. Winter and Catapult keeping themselves alive, possibly getting to be a little bit worse, but here comes Jurassic. Wants a little more. Nice stand aside. He does pick it up, and that's going to be a flash under the tower. He might survive as well. Does get just out of range. Little crazy fights overall, but that is going to be the survival right there from Jurassic as he claims his 2nd kill, cashing in on another nice set of gold.
Yeah, and now the gold lead shifts in favor of Radiance here. Bit of a misplay there coming out from the Aatrox and Elise Sin here. They go a bit too aggressive here, but you still get a kill onto the Quirky, you still get a kill onto the Draven, and that's really what is important here. You need that Quirky to hit that Trinity Force as soon as humanly possible, and you need Jurassic on this Draven to continue his barrage in this bot lane. Catapult does have the package here on the Quirky. Most likely gonna be looking towards maybe getting dragon control here. Blue buff is gonna be taken by Hyper because Catavolve already has the blue buff coming out from Fnatic. Just went off though, so kind of surprising to see Hyper take that blue. Quirky is really strong here. Bit questionable.
Yeah. I mean, they are tagging each other back and forth. Lee Sin actually starting up that dragon right now. That is just a simple Ocean Drake, but considering it's only 10 minutes or 9 minutes into the game, having an Ocean Drake for the latter half of the laning phase should feel pretty good for Radiance.
I know, especially for someone like Jurassic and Catavolve that are playing very mana-intensive champions. Even though it may not seem like it, oh, you know, they're ADCs, they auto-attack. Draven needs to get his Q up all the time. His W costs mana as well. Cat Evolved, going to be throwing his Q and E all the time. With his ultimate as well. Winter, going to hit a good binding there. He might look for something here. Hyper is there, but Fnatic is also there as well. They're just going to back while hovering their lanes though.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the bottom lane pressure that we were talking about. With Jurassic sitting with a 200 gold bounty, he makes a juicy target, but we also see, yes, that 4-man possible stack on the bottom lane. Jurassic gets a nice stand aside on top of the binding, and that's going to chunk him out. We do have multiple members on this bottom lane. Meanwhile, in that mid lane, Catapult is going to jump, but there's on the hunt. They want it. Soul Shackle lands on 2, but in comes Fnatic. He wants to get the kill. Dragon King actually out. That's going to be War Machine. Hyper picking that one up, but Value shutting down Jurassic. Ignite goes out as well. Might get it, and they do collect another. That is a 3-for-1 in favor of Radiance.
Yeah, even though Jurassic couldn't get those kills, Lee Sin does pick up the majority of those, and that is not the worst thing to see. Both ultimates popped in the top lane though. Really volatile matchup in that top lane. You have two bruisers that really excel well in that early game. But again, That bot lane, super good there for Radiance, 3 for 1. And now you continue your pressure. You have the Draven now sitting at BT, and he's just going to continue to get stronger.
Yeah, he is filling out that role nicely. And he wants to continue this pressure as well. He is up quite a bit of gold, 15 CS up. Problem is, the rest of his lanes are a little bit behind right now. Bloodthirster, like you stated on Jurassic. And in that mid lane, Cole almost completed for Cat Evolved. Towers all being hammered away a little bit. 3 tower plates to 2 in favor of Radiance right now, as well as that Rift Herald going over in favor. Oh,
good
knocked
cancel.
out of the Flag and Drag, but the binding did go wide and the flash was used. Fnatic staying alive.
Yeah, really good cancel there. Or Theris. I can never pronounce his name. After all the months of casting him, I still can't pronounce his name. But regardless of the fact,
We'll go with it.
yeah, whatever the case is, really good cancel there. I mean, that's just well played. They are looking towards a dive here on Piecake Lord.
Yeah, but that's going to be a nice Sonic kick, and he does collect that kill, has to flash away, but the last tower shot is going to barely keep him alive, but not for long as the protocol is used as well. Now Atheris is on the wrong side of the map. He has to try and run away. Doesn't have the ultimate available, is up in just a few, but there's a Cataclysm, gets another chunk of damage, and the Rocket Sudsy claiming a kill right there for himself. That's actually 3, 2, and 1 for him. Tried to go one more on the Cat Evolved, but not going to land. But he's going to be happy with those 2 kills for himself.
Yeah, I happen to have the big one there with the quirky ultimate, so just relates to a kill there. Again, kind of a very aggressive play coming out from Hyper, but I mean, this is kind of what we expect. Cat Evolved, though, trading really well here with Sudsy.
Oh, and that Gatling gun burning down armor and magic resist. That's going to be a solo kill for Cat Evolved in that mid lane. Trinity Force putting in work.
I hate to see it, question mark. Very questionable there from Sudsy. He's had now 2 questionable games so far. I mean, Cat Evolve sitting at 1 item. There's a reason why Quirky is considered the strongest mid laner, that with Azir. But you know, those lanes are a very big resonant sleeper, but we still love them regardless. Again,
I mean, if you're riding a corgi, I mean, are you really? You can't disrespect the corgi. I feel that's just not right.
I swear we all want to ride corgis, dude. They're so adorable. Like, you ever seen the baby corgis? Oh my god, they're so adorable.
We got a little derailed with that corgi skin, unfortunately. But again, we are getting into that mid-game phase where, you know, we see both teams start taking off a little bit. But Draven sitting on that BT on that bottom side, and honestly, the Trinity Force already completed. As you pointed out before, Radiance hitting those power spikes to start punishing these mistakes coming out of Supernova.
Now, the thing is, Spiristogen is built on the Renekton here for Piecake Lord, and we still don't see the Cleaver out for the Aatrox here. And that's kind of what's important here. You need to see that Black Cleaver before anything can really happen. It's going to be the Whirling Blades coming out from the Draven here. Just going to try to get some poke, clear some waves. Nothing really too fancy. Rift Herald is popped in the top lane, however.
Yeah, but that is going to mean a trade of objectives as the Dragon goes down in that bottom side. Double Ocean Drake, going to keep people very healthy. Tower possibly dropping on that top side, but meanwhile a 4-man, 5-man gank in this bottom side. Radiance going all in or nothing lane. All the chips on the bottom lane. They get the double kill, but will lose a couple towers in return.
They'll most likely lose the top T2 as well. They can continue to try to push here. They do have the members. Not that bad. They're going to actually just base it here. Silas still in the mid lane. Quirky's there to respawn. Sudsy. Question mark?
Oh, I don't think he had an option there, so it was smart. Just try and do his best to keep away. You know, stall out the team again. The further away you are, the more time you waste. So that does mean the rest of Supernova are going to be able to kind of get out of the floodgates a little bit, but still, 2 towers to 2 so far, even across the board, except for the kills. And now Radiance feel really good. Oh, Hyper has found I will find you. That is going to be a hook and a little bit of a lockdown, but that is going to be mid lane tower. And suddenly, the entirety of Supernova's bot side has become unrunnable. And a binding lands onto Fnatic. That's still 3 towers to 2 in favor of Radiance, running away with this game slightly.
Yeah, just starting to hit their points. Now you have Cat Evolved 5-1 on that Quirky. And this is where things start to become really good for them. Aatrox is going to be able to start to get his items. You already have Jurassic being really strong right now. Has quite a bit of Adoration stacks as well on him. So once he pops those, it's going to be a bit of a problem for Supernova. But again, to Supernova's credit, they're still keeping relatively even, only about, 5k in the deficit at this point. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Bit of questionable plays coming out from Sudsy. He did see the rotation coming from Cat Evolved once he went through the Tri-Brush in the river. But, I mean, he still dies to it. He had the option to leave. Doesn't get the tower as well. So, bit of miscommunication and misplays coming out from the Supernova mid laner. And those need to be corrected within the next couple of minutes, or this Silas is just going to become irrelevant.
That is so true. He is sitting on that back foot right now. He doesn't feel good. He had some nice solo kills, but again, those were trades, not exactly what you want all over the place. Nice little stop right there, but in goes the jump. We actually see Jurassic getting jumped down. Death Chart goes out as well. The Soul Shackles lands onto 2, connects onto I Will Find You. And there it says, hello, my turn to fight, and Jurassic claims his 3rd kill of the game so far. Fnatic having to run away, but a flash Q does not miss. Sonic Wave not connecting. But he's still on the hunt right now. Fnatic again dodges a second one by walking straight forward back to his base. Hyper says, I am doing my best to run interference right now, but he is now caught between a rock and a hard place. Goes Golden. Jana dash away and gets a Sonic kick. And there it is. Oh, nice binding as well. That might be a 3rd. No, There's collects that one. High kick Lord in the backline doing so much damage, but not able to claim the kill as Bloodthirster is doing work for the team. And that's going to be another root binding, securing kills left and right. And in a furious jungle fight, Radiance coming out on top 4-0.
That was 4v5. How do you lose that as Supernova? They just got routed there. Their strongest member in Quirky isn't even there. Cat Evolve has just been pushing top the entire time. That's going to be the mid T2 tower. That's going to be the top T2 tower here. And this gold lead went from about 5,000 to now 10,000 gold. They don't even get the top tower as well, but it's still a 10,000 gold lead 19 minutes into the game.
Oh man, and suddenly Supernova, one would say was the crowd favorite, is now sitting quite far on their back foot, possibly losing game 2 here, unless they can find a strong follow-up to cut down Jurassic and cut down Cat Evolved. I mean, this game could see them losing even faster than the first one.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see the gold lead bubble up until around the 24-minute mark, and that's when Radiance just marched down. Oh no, goodbye.
Oh, and that is unfortunate DC coming out here. And it is going to be value being jumped on here by Cat Evolved. We'll have to see if that means a kill. I mean, that's pretty surely a kill, but
no, that's a kill. unless value wants to flash. He's at around maybe 300 HP. I think an auto ult kills regardless. He's already in animation to auto. So I'm pretty sure that's just a dead value. Oh, goodness. I mean, Winter is popping off. Jurassic is popping off. It's just a really good game coming out from Radiance. And again, we were talking about it in the Champ Select. That game 2 is the most important game. Now Radiance will most likely, it's not confirmed yet at this point, but they're most likely at this point going to go up 2-0. So what does Supernova do at this point? They need a clean sweep. they need to reset a mental, and they need to hope to God that Sudsy plays better, value pops off as the ADC that we know him as. But right now, he doesn't look like the ADC we know him as. He's about to get absolutely murdered once this unpause happens. But you know what? You know what, Orbital? Big brain. If they don't unpause the game, he doesn't die.
Well, unfortunately, we are getting that countdown to his death.
Well,
there it is. Catapult is dominating this game so far. And again, that's just overall, we've seen Catapult be the passive mid laner that bursts into the spotlight at around that 14-minute mark, right? Just all of a sudden coming out, solo kills left and right, packages, flying left and right as well. He's done so well for himself without a whole lot of resources given over to him by Hyper.
Yeah, I mean, he more capitalized on the misplays coming out from Sudsy than he did on anything else. His CS is really good right now, up almost 40 CS at this point against his enemy mid laner. Just everyone right now having a good time for the side of Radiance. They look like, they're playing League of Legends and having fun, which is, rare in Season 9. Playing Season 9 and having fun, omega lol. But they look like they're having fun with this game. For the side of Supernova, though, they should be, and I would be stressed out with this game. You had the winning top lane matchup. You had a pretty decent jungle matchup, and you still managed to lose a Pie Cake Lord, however. Trying to get a trade. Both ultimates from the top lane is going to be used. They both still have teleport, so still pretty okay. Pie Cake Lord, though, still has a...
Yeah, Dominus lasting a lot longer than World Ender right there, but it has both worn off, so Atheris going forward, knows that the dash is not available right there, but it is walked out. Nice Black Shield, keeps Jurassic there. One shot, chunks out value right there, and the flash collects it on the bottom side as well. Various fights across the board right now going in favor of Radiance so far, and value taken almost out of this fight instantaneously. In goes Catapult, says, hello, let me crit you in your face. He's going to be dominating that top side as Baron looks to be the next target in Radiance's eyes.
Yeah, it's just a free Baron at this point. Like, even though we want to be like, oh my god, Baron, woo! Like, it's the freest Baron you've never seen in your life. I thought last game was free. Nah, it's this game. Already a 10k gold lead. Draven just wailing on it. You have the Aatrox in the bot lane. He's just pushing. Now you have the Quirky on the Baron. And yeah, that's going to be a 22-minute Baron coming out here from Radiance. 21-8 in kills. And this is looking like their most dominating performance of the postseason here. That, again, they've been faltering quite a bit throughout Upsurge, throughout quite a few of the other leagues as well. And for the most part, they are looking like a dominating force. And this is what they need, especially when you've locked your place into scouting grounds. You want to be the most dominating team. You want your star mid laner to shine. You want Hyper to shine. You want Jurassic and Winter to shine, especially since Winter this entire season has been considered one of the top supports all across Amateur. Him and Jurassic have been popping off this game, and it just looks like it's going to continue for the rest of this game and maybe the rest of the series.
Yes, it will, as they are trying to beat down this mid lane, try and push the lanes up as well on the sides. A 1-3-1 is not out of the question, since everyone, if you look down the line, has that bounty on their head. You can see how far ahead they are. 400 on Atheris, 150 on that Hyper, 700 on Catapult, the highest of the game so far. He is by far ahead, above, and beyond Sudsy. Tower going down on that top side, as Inhibitor towers are next.
They just continue their push slowly but surely, playing methodically, which is what I like. You play the 1-3-1, you put 3 now in the bot lane, they're just going to push the tower in. Top tower most likely going to fall as well. They try to do the dive here. That's a kill. What?
Yeah, that might not be a kill though, as Catapult was tanking too many tower shots, so massive kill advantage going over. Bounty collected, and that's the rest of the fight splitting off. Will Find You is diving back in. That's going to be Pie Cake Lord trying to collect another kill on the War Machine Hyper, but Hyper survives, getting that last Triumph proc off. And that's going to be Atheris chasing down the rest of Supernova, as that is the ace coming out in a 5-for-1.
Yeah, that's the game. BM teleport there coming out from Jurassic. He just does not care. This game is over. 24 minutes into the game. They're going for the complete victory, all right? You gotta be completionist when you want to be a champion. They take all of the inhibitors, except for the top lane one, apparently, because, you know, they don't want to be that complete. And 22 and a half minutes in, they're already up 2-0 in a series that they looked completely like the underdogs coming in.
That it was, and now Supernova have to be wondering, you know, this time around they got a solid draft. You know, again, Fnatic on that J4 didn't look awful in game number 1, but this time definitely shut out of that early game proceedings. Bottom lane getting a little bit ahead for Jurassic and Winter. I mean, where can Supernova really find that footing right now? Because it obviously wasn't in the bottom lane. Mid lane, you know, going back and forth. Where is their opening in this series?
You need to put Sudsy on just something safe. Also with Fnatic, put him on something safer, I guess. His J4 wasn't bad, but he just took fights that they didn't need to take. There's so many things just not clicking today. And we all know that Supernova is a good team today. They are not looking like the team that we know. And that is a huge problem for them. This game just looked like a one-sided stomp after the Dragon fight and after the 2 mid lane fights. It just looks like a complete domination. We take a look at the damage here, ladies and gentlemen. Whew. We see the Aatrox, Boris up there in the top lane, popping off most damage in the game, followed by the Draven Cat Evolved, also doing quite a bit of damage. You take 2 of these damage charts and they most likely out damage the rest of the team. It's just not a good time for Supernova. And Radiance right now must be jumping for joy. They're sitting 2-0 and they're looking poised to take this win.
Yes, they are, but again, you can never sleep on a team like Supernova. They might have something in the back of their bag of tricks, and we'll have to see if they can pull it out here. Again, they are down 2-0, so we'll have to see if Radiance can close it out in a quick 3-0, or if we'll see the reverse sweep coming out for Supernova. Don't go anywhere. Game 3 coming up shortly.
water, watch it ripple. Tides turn quick, just keep your head on a swivel. Competition getting stiff, I'm here to make you wiggle. You know me, surround your whole town, make you yell siege. All-star, homie, this the king's speech. You can lock it down, we gon' still preach. Boy, preach. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, get out of your mind. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, this world is mine. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Boy, you already know I'm the real wonder. Boy, I bring the storm, you gonna feel thunder. So your body count is up there with killmongers. How about you come take a look at some real numbers? Might just double up on you while I still slumber. I'm the living proof, I'm just coming through for the thrill of it. Room full of all-stars, we all guys. Somebody gotta be Zeus, I'll take charge. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, get out of your mind. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, this world is mine. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Positive, negative, I'll take charge and shake eyes, remain great while I pay homage. They always said that pressure can make diamonds, so keep climbing all the way up, that's where you'll find me. Right next to the legends, I go off my brethren, said goodbye to the old me. I'ma make sure that you know me. After this here, you gon' own me. Didn't choose a game, it chose me. You know what G-O means to an OG, let's go. Fight, who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, get out of your mind. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, this world is mine. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now is the time, get out of your mind. Raise up the lights, we all here tonight, so let's do it right. Yo, we came here to fight. Who's next in line? Can you make that climb? Now.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 3 between Radiance and Supernova. And so far, what is one of the fastest series I think we've had in this playoff so far, and very unexpected for the final series between Radiance and Supernova. Radiance up 2-0.
Yeah, just they came looking to play. I mean, they seem hungry. They, when ranking the teams, Radiance has been dropped down quite a bit in comparison to the beginning of the season, where they were put all the way at the top. They were put, a tier above. They kind of look like the Team Liquid of amateur. It kind of goes, it went them, and then the rest of the, in Double Lift's words, trash, right? So now Radiance has been knocked down a peg, but they're looking to climb back up here. They're 2-0 against Supernova, who is arguably one of the best teams. They've beaten Maryville, they've beaten Anu, and right now they are just getting served on a silver platter. Radiance popping off. We're into the pick and bans for game number 3. Tristana banned, again, another Cassiopeia ban coming out from Supernova with the Sejuani soon to follow.
Yeah, and this looks just a repeat. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Supernova banning away the Silas didn't do wonders for them, but again, afraid of it going over into the hands of possibly Aetheris or Cat Evolved. But Radiance, I mean, have shown dominance. They pulled out 2 drastically different compositions. Game number 1 was watching those early stages, play around that top and mid. This time around, it was through the bottom lane, although mid and top still got fed. So, I mean, I want to see what can happen. What's the next style that they're going to pull out here? Karma taken away, as well as the Olaf. So Supernova sticking with the same bans as before.
Yeah, no. Now Supernova has let up the Gragas. They do let the Lee Sin go again for Hyper. You still have the Yuumi up. You still have a bunch of things ready for you. Have to see Lee Sin, though. Going to be the first pick. Instantly locked in for Radiance. Hyper, really confident on the Lee Sin. Did miss a few flash Qs. We can mention that just a little bit. Kind of looked questionable. But for the most part, his Lee Sin was very clean, did escape narrowly through some situations, and definitely got that bot lane ahead.
Oh, he did multiple tower dives, multiple advantages. And something that a lot of people do discredit a little bit is the fact that just general pressure from a jungler exerts so much almost anxiety and fear into the enemy team, right? The thought of having a Lee Sin come in with a dragon kick, with that safeguard going over, it's not fun to play against that type of champion, and it puts you on edge, and it makes you play a little bit more passive. On the flip side, Supernova had picked up the Elise, so going for a little bit more early game power and the ability power as well.
Okay. So we do see Boris again locked in, the Aatrox in the top lane, but we see the Riven, and it's been banned quite a bit against Radiance. Now 2 top priority picks for Radiance have been allowed in the Riven and the Lee Sin. Elise is picked up, does well into Lee Sin, but kind of, falls into the same category where they just fall off later. And oh my god, I don't want to cast anymore. You know how much I hate this champion. UPL knows how much I hate this champion. God, why is Zoe still in this game?
Because apparently watching a Paddle Star and Sleepy Trouble Bubble delete a champion at level 6 is entertaining. We do Spears on the other side as well, so we have Poke versus Poke in opposite lanes, unfortunately. So this does leave quite a bit of variance, though, with the mid lane picked up for Radiance and an ADC. We might see targeted bans coming out from both sides right now. All right.
Now hear me out. Big brain, right? Supernova, they're going demons this game. Look at them, dude. They're literally drafting demons. They picked the Morgana here, and oh my god, it's over. The mana burn is nuts.
You have to agree, but who would be the 5th demon? Let's hear it. Swain?
Yeah, you could. You could do Swain.
Oh,
you could do Swain in the mid lane. You pick Morgana here. Do it, please, Supernova.
Oh,
do it one time for the one time.
Oh man, if they do, that'll be the glacial run by Team Liquid all over again, channeling their inner Team Liquid possibly and trying to do a reverse sweep. But we'll have to see what they do pick up here, though. The Poke plus the engage coming out is fairly strong. The Nico locked in here, possible support, possible mid as well, so that'll be interesting to pick up. Ashe being locked in here, nice long range advantages, and Morgana possibly stolen away from Supernova.
Yeah, stealing over that last demon, because, I mean, hear me out, right? I was going to be like, Nico can transform into a demon, so it's like you have 2 of them, right?
but one of them doesn't even get it. It's just has the chameleon cloak on.
It doesn't matter. You still get the buff. It doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter. Morgana is taken up, unless you wanna pull some cheddar cheese and pull the Swain bot lane, which I don't think Supernova will do. No, it's just gonna be the Soraka, which is okay. Morgana does do pretty well into Soraka. Soraka does poke out quite a bit, but you're just trying to keep the Varus alive. This more seems like it's going to be the Trinity Force, Essence Reaver, just poke you out, slow you down. You don't get to play the video game, Ashe, kind of thing. You want the Riven to get ahead against the Aatrox. You want Zoe to do okay into the Nico. It's more what Hyper is going to do. He can go bot lane, that if the Ashe Morgana does get ahead, he can put a lot of pressure with that bot lane, move it to the top lane, get a lot of plates. You can also get the Zoe ahead. You can also get this Riven ahead. That with this Riven ahead, there isn't much that Supernova can do. They do have a lot of skill shots. They have the Varus ult, they have the Nico E, they have the Cocoon. That's about it. That's your CC. Trying to stop a Riven with 40% CDR. Good luck in esports.
It is true, and also the immobility coming out from the side of Supernova does grant Radiance a boon, in my opinion. You have multiple skill shots, right? Sleepy Trouble Bubble available, Morgana binding, and like you said, the Riven able to catch up. When you're this immobile, it makes it hard to run. So we'll have to see if Supernova can really keep up, really force the early game advantages, because that bot lane, usually when you take a Morgana, you do want to pair it with a more aggressive and more overbearing ADC, I feel, than an Ashe. So, I mean, do you think we'll have some conflicting playstyles come out down there?
No, not really.
Hmm.
Just because Ashe is so aggressive, you can continue to throw out your volleys over and over and over again. You can get your Q. Soraka can't really do much of anything because you can farm from so far away. So Jurassic and Winter is taking kind of a mixed approach from that first and second game to where the Ashe just has to farm, but you still have quite a bit of kill potential. Jurassic is still going to run the teleport. I do expect Winter to still take the Ignite. We do see Value taking the cleanse. He has to. There is, you have to. There's nothing else that you can do. You have the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, you have the Binding, you have the slows coming out from the volley. You desperately need cleanse in this lane. I expect the Soraka to take the heal here. And basically the name of the game for Radiance is just survive. You have the Aatrox that scales really well. You have the Varus that scales. You have the Neeko that scales. And especially that Soraka. Both junglers fall off. So it's okay to pick something like the Elise here. But you just need to hope to God that Radiance allows you to scale.
That it is. And honestly, that hope and prayer may fall on deaf ears. We've watched Radiance really take over that early game. Really punish any early game aggression and mistakes. And I do want to ask your opinion now because, again, Supernova has seen on the back foot. Is this a composition that you think will be able to bring them back? I mean, just overall, I mean, do you think they have a better chance of winning this game than it was in games number 1 and 2?
Definitely more than number 1. Maybe not more than number 2. The thing is, for the side of Radiance, they scale still really hard. That Ashe, once she gets 2 items, is really strong. Zoe is just, why are you in this video game? I hate you. You still one shot. Literally anyone on their team except for maybe Pie Cake Lord gets utterly one shot by the Zoe. Riven is still a monster into the late game, and it's just overall not a good time. For the side of Supernova, they need to find some form of a lead. It feels again kind of like game 1, where their draft is a bit all over the place. They have good team fight once they get to that. They have good disengage. But other than that, your split pushing against the Riven, unless you get ahead, is questionable. And overall, Radiance has drafted a damn near perfect composition.
All right, well, we'll have to see if that comes to fruition and if Radiance can close this series out, this finals series, in a quick 3-0 fashion, or if Supernova will start the pain train and move it back into a 1-2 situation. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game number 3. Don't touch that browser.
Legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die, they become a part of you. Every time you bleed far reaching greatness, relentless, you survive. They never lose hope when everything's cold and the fighting's near. It's deep in their bones, they'll rot into smoke when the fire is fierce. Oh, pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die when the world is calling you. Can you hear them screaming out your
3 and possibly the final game of the night. Radiance versus Supernova on the field right now. Radiance repping that blue side. Supernova on the red. And Supernova finally fighting for their playoff life right now. No one wants to go out 3-0, but it very well might be.
It just might be 10 gold. Game's over. Go next. GG. Riven already got 10 gold off of the spiders. I mean, I don't want to play the video game anymore.
Oh, man.
Insurmountable gold lead, dude. Like, you tell me, can you overcome 10 gold? The answer is no.
I mean, I've tried, but honestly, it's too difficult. But we do see the battle lines being drawn by both teams, and honestly, that is a little bit surprising. But I do like it. Again, the respect from Radiance, you know, even though they are up 2-0 in this series, they don't want to give any type of advantage over to Supernova to even try and come back in the series.
Yep. I mean, you really, if you are Radiance here, you kind of need to win this game. If you allow things to push, it's not going to end well. They're trying to do something cheeky here. Just going to be able to jump over the wall. Lee Sin doesn't really need much of a gank. He's trying to do something here, though. They know he's there. Hyper.
Definitely do. And he's looking for it. Oh, he has actually found out. Bad timing right there. Has to jump over to the red buff. Gotta run away, but he did successfully stall out that top side. The issue is now he is severely behind, I think, in terms of who's getting that buff.
He's gonna just walk up mid for a level 1 gank.
I think he's just trying to soak XP right there, you know? Oh, big damage in that top side, though. Atheris taking a larger chunk, but both of them going low. And honestly, I think that favors Pike Lord due to the fact that he did go the Doran's shield. Atheris running with that Doran's blade. So
yeah, but look at the CS 11-1 right now already. A bit of a meme there coming out from Hyper, but he doesn't really need a leash, just uses the smite and can now go harass the Elise even more. This is the power of early Lee Sin. So
yeah.
he's just gonna walk into the jungle here.
Yeah, he's just gonna lay down even more poke. Almost kills Fnatic and actually flashes over.
Misses
Oh,
the Q.
Another dodge, and the fear of the Lee Sin gets to him. The nerves shaking a bit too much.
Not like this, Hyper. Not like this. Feels bad, man.
Oh man!
Just hit Q forehead.
We all wish he would. We all wish he would.
That's all it is. Just win game 2-head. But no, this is really good from Hyper. He stalls out the first buff, denies the second buff. He's going to be able to continue to clear. He's going to get the Scuttle Crab. Most likely going to go contest the other Scuttle Crab as well. And then just clear his entire jungle. His mid laner, Cat Evolve, is backing, however. So I don't think he'll be able to do it. Pike Lord has the advantage in the top lane as well right now. So I don't know if he'll be able to do it. Pings are going down.
And
if he gets any help.
And oh my lord, Hyper has been a pain in Fnatic's side.
And he gets
the jump away and actually got the scuttle as well. So you're ready to see, I believe that means 4 camps to 1 in favor of Hyper right now.
Oh my god. Just Fnatic. Just he doesn't get to play the video game. Feels bad, man. Like,
I mean, yeah, it's scary.
It's just not a good time. And I mean, ooh, that's Hextech GOP there. Paddle Star or Sleepy Bubble does miss. But again, this is what you want to see out of Hyper. This is why they banned the Lee Sin in the first game.
Yep.
It's just so strong. Winter though, gonna have his back stopped as well as Jurassic.
Yeah.
But right now, this has just been Hyper's game.
It really has, and looking down at as we crest that 4 minute 45 seconds 46, here we go. You see a little bit more aggressive trades. I think this is something that we have not seen through the entire series, is laners furiously auto attack trading. I think that's huge, and Arrow does whiff. That would have been first blood due to the fact that Jurassic did have a stack from the Varus passive. So again, I like this aggressiveness coming out of Supernova. Before, it just felt like a farm fest. Now we're seeing some aggressive tendencies.
Yep. Jurassic just gonna go back though, has TP, so it doesn't really matter. Elise though, sitting at 8 CS.
Oh, really far behind TP actually coming out here.
No,
That was
that's
actually
fine.
Jurassic and a heal coming out as well.
Now they need the early movement speed. Winter can always go in, flash Q right in their face, and it's just, oof, not good at that point in time. So really, respecting the fact that Jurassic and Winter have a lot of slows, a lot of CC, gonna burn the heal, just trying to stay alive for a little bit longer here. They don't have teleport though, so the CS lead will go in Radiance's favor here. Dragon is started up, and this is a pretty massive Drake for Radiance if they can get it. That most of their champions need mana to continue to harass their lane, especially in that bot lane with Jurassic and Winter. So it's a good Drake to pick up. And 6:30 into the game, that's going to be the first dragon for them coming through. Should be just around now. There it is.
Yeah. Solid pickup for them, and like you said, that Ocean Drake is going to help. You do see the double door and start coming on that mid lane for Cat Evolved, as well as a no magic mantle. So a lot of respect being paid over to Sudsy right now on that Nico. Again, the Glacial Path means more auto attacks, more basic abilities landing, so going the safe route in that mid lane.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not a bad thing to do. You can afford to do it when the rest of your team is just, smashing their lane in this case. The thing is, Sudsy does quite a bit of damage. Gonna be looking towards that Hextech GLP and just being a nuisance from there, trying to roam, trying to do what they can. Jurassic is 6. Good ward from value. We always had that Scar award. That's gonna be the ultimate. That's a kill. Goodbye.
Yep. we were wondering
Hyper.
how aggressive they'd be. Oh, that was a nice KS. I mean, come on. Let's give it to him. He did something. He hit the Q for once.
Not like this.
But again, the over-aggressiveness from Hyper has definitely given an advantage over, and actually an ultimate popped up by Aetherius as well. Pycake Lord getting jumped on. This could be another kill coming down, but no. Fnatic is there. Ooh! Flashes traded as Pycake Lord stays alive just by the skin. And there it is, Fnatic actually possibly going down as well. We are going to be cycling through a little bit of this fight as we do collect ourselves, just now hitting the 8-minute mark. Aetherius is hoping to stay alive. There we go. We are set to go in that top side. And again, aggressiveness coming out from all of the laners, which I absolutely love to see. You love to see that the team that's down 0-2 still has some aggressive streaks in them and is still fighting for the series.
Yeah, no. I mean, right now, Radiance is just looking like the better team at this point in time. You have CS leads, which again is to be expected. Riven is going to do well, but again, the fact that Hyper is just able to steal so many camps from Fnatic is just insane at this point. Now up 21 CS, just a bunch of camps at this point. Being able to keep his lanes ahead, the Ashe being able to poke out value, and I will find you barely dodging the binding, but is able to just continue to be a strong champion here.
Yeah. Oh, heal picked up, actually going out. Ooh, Cat Evolved not getting stunned up under the tower. That would have been a nice chunk of damage if Sudsy had been able to root him under there, just out of tower range. Aetherius on the top side also dueling it out a little bit. We actually see Hyper coming up as well. Boiled under pop for the extra movement speed, and he's gonna run his way out, or gently glide, as we saw.
Hey, just glide on out of there. Again, respect ults have to come out. Great job there by Cat Evolved. Tried to get the cheese there. Knew that the Nico was going to pop W.
Oh,
My
Dark
God.
Binding just a few pixels off.
Yeah, barely getting there. But good job by Sudsy. Does avoid the gank. I don't think he would have died there. Still had flash. Would have been able just to get out. But still, better off not burning the summoners. So overall, not too bad. 1.5k gold lead now in favor of Radiance. Dragon is spawning up in about a minute here. and it'll most likely be Radiance just continuing their aggression. They are on the Rift Herald right now. That you have pressure in the top lane, you have pressure in the mid lane, so it kind of just equates to a free Rift Herald.
Really does, and that's something that we've seen Radiance do time and time again is where are we getting the pressure, you know, which lanes are ahead, which I mean all 3 lanes are, but that's every time Hyper goes for an objective, we're watching the rest of his team really step up and be like, okay, hard push under the tower, you know, clear out those waves, make sure the enemy laners have nothing to help back up their jungler, as Fnatic is really being strung out right now. He's just going for, I believe, that Rift Scuttle right now, so big objective claim for Radiance.
Yep. And I mean, this is what happens when you get a really aggressive, good Black Shield.
Huge play right there. Nice catch from Value. That means his ultimate is down, and another big trade on the ultimates is there. Soul Shackle goes down, and immediate stun as well. The combo is real. Oh, Wombo combo goes out, but that is going to be Fnatic under the tower. Gonna be able to collect the kill, but Fnatic now being kicked out by the Dragon's Rage. Hyper collects that one as Winter also goes, but they're going to keep going. Flash out from Value now. Massive Summoners being burned on all sides just for a 1-for-1 trade.
They can just pop Rift Herald down here and most likely get either a bunch of plates or get the tower even. 3 people are down here, however, so it's most likely going to be the turret platings for right now, unless they really want to commit, which I don't think they want to. So that's just going to be the first tower going over. Sleepy Bubble does hit. Oh my goodness.
Oh my lord, I even messed up there. It was actually a 2-for-1 in the bot lane, now going on 3-for-1. They're just extending this all over the place as Radiance just flexing after taking that bottom lane tower at just 12 minutes. That was insane play from them so far, and I mean, you know, you don't like Zoe. That's exactly why. 1 Sleepy Trouble Bubble and a Paddle Star, you're dead.
Yeah, lost chapter, by the way. It's not like she had a full item or anything like that. Had the Merc Treads as well. But, good champion design. Great job, Riot. Like, good job. Completely one-shots the Varus. Not allowed to play the game. They're still going here, trying to find something. This might be, though, the catch onto Cat Evolved. Kind of in a misposition. Same with Winter here.
Yeah, very well. And Hyper actually going for the dragon, actually getting hit. That's going to be the kill going out of Fnatic, and he wants it. Oh, on the backside, Pancake Lord gets it, and that's going to be a Dragon Stolen as well. Sleepy Trouble Bubble does land a sleep floating. And a good comeback start for Supernova.
Yeah, overall, just really misplayed here coming out from Radiance. They overstayed, and that's a huge issue overall. When almost hit the arrow, that would have most likely been a kill onto Fnatic. But again, you didn't have the mid lane prio, you didn't have the bot lane prio, you just had your laners there. You had Piecake Lord with the teleport available, and he's going to come back with full HP and completely destroy your team from there. So definitely not the best play from Radiance. They're still up 2k gold. So overall, in a pretty good position. But as of right now, Radiance needs to continue to push their lead. They need the Riven to hit towards her item power spikes. And they need this Zoe, even though I hate to say it, she does need to hit that Lunan's Echo, needs to hit Morello's and then become strong. Riven, though.
Oh, there's caught out in the wrong place at the wrong time. Has to flash away. So gonna save himself, but still backing out in the open. A little bit gutsy there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, overall, not the worst play in general. They do burn the Riven's flash, but still 2k gold lead still there for Radiance. And they're just going to continue to push this. Ashe ult is almost up here. And that's most likely where they're going to look for play. Hyper, though, in this top lane, looking for something.
Yeah, they really want to make it happen. They're waiting for that arrow, possibly. It's almost up. Binding's going wide, but this does give time for the rest of Supernova to actually rotate. You actually see Fnatic roaming up. Same with Suds. So immediate call out and immediate follow through there to, you know, back off a little bit. Try not so hard for that tower dive.
Yeah, you do have 4 people up here. It is noticed, so they are going to back up. But the thing is, the Riven just has enough pressure that she can just continue to free push in that bot lane. And that's how they're going to continue to win this game. Sleepy Bubble does hit. Doesn't
Yeah,
have the
does
battle
land
star with the
in-
half HP.
And
Oh
in
my goodness.
return, Hextech GLP says, I can play that game too. Feel pretty
You know
good
what?
there, but again, nice pickup. And overall, we are seeing Supernova definitely take a step forward, being a little bit more aggressive. Sudsy now has to flash away, and the Pop Blossom has been hit. Doesn't land on anyone, but that's going to be the kill. Cat Evolved laying down the Paddle Star Smackdown.
Yep. Cat Evolved hitting them with the anything you can do, I can do better. Not a fun time.
Not at all, but again, another Sleepy Shovel Evolve will now Pie Kick Lord in a bad situation. Again, he does not have the revive. One more attack means he has to flash. Survives with just about 100 HP. Nice flash forward from Cat Evolved. Again, who doesn't love watching a champion flash 5 times in a row?
I mean, you're not wrong. You gotta listen here, buddy. The fact that he gets those auto attacks, and you know, just throw another flash in there. Why not? just have him have 5 different flashes. It's a fun time. Don't worry about it. We really enjoy having champions that can get 5 flashes on top of their flash in a fight. I think it's really well designed. Cat Evolved though does get his back stopped. Does have the Proto Belt, so he can continue to push the lane. Get a back off. He is sitting on quite a bit of gold, 2,400 at this point. Winter gonna avoid the cocoon. Hyper though, just gonna. He's like, yo, what's popping? What's popping? What's up?
I love it.
Flashes the mastery as well.
It was just one of the more well-timed things. It's like Tom, Jerry, thank you. I'll be out my way of your jungle now.
Yeah, just chilling. It's like, you know what? Having a good day. We're winning 2-0. I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking to win UPL right now. So I'll talk to you after the game. Right now, Hyper is popping off on this Lee Sin, and if this goes to Game 4, they might have to consider banning out that Lee Sin for the rest of the series. And right now, Hyper is looking really good on that lead. Zoe also sitting at 2-0, sitting with a CS lead, and this is where Radiance starts to take over their game. They've hit their item power spikes. Riven sitting with CDR, does get sunned up, but Sudsy...
Oh! Yeah, Pop Blossom does land, but Sudsy actually Hextech GLP'd the wrong way. We do see Fnatic coming up now as well, but that's a lot of
That's just a
CDR
dragon,
that Atheris already has, and Dragon started up as well. Another Ocean Dragon, so lots of regen coming in for the side of Radiance right now, and they love that. But again, aggressiveness coming out of Atheris. Slight over-aggression. Didn't have to burn the flash, obviously. The flash was still down. That is going to be tower damage going down for Supernova.
Yep. I mean, right now, for Supernova, they need to continue to try to find ways into this game. You have the Varus, who's going to hit 2 items pretty soon here. You have the Nico that's going to hit 2 items. You have the Aatrox that's going to hit 2 items. Once those come online, that's when things start to get a bit better for Supernova. But even at this point, it might not even matter. You have the Ashe, already finished the Essence Reaver, has the Executioner's Calling. This is the tower getting extremely low. Pie Kick Lord walking forward. You don't want to be... Goodbye. You're dead.
Oh, that feels bad. And actually, I will find you flashed and healed. So that is another summoner loss there as well. And this is just the exact combination that they want. Nice jump forward as well. Value walking forward. Ooh, he's a paddle star and has to run away. In comes the very nice wish. Keep everyone alive. But again, Cat Evolved running forward. Does get the Hexshot GLP one more time. And just scatter fights all around.
I don't know. Right now, this is 4v5. The Riven's still splitting in the top lane. And this is looking really bad for Supernova. When you're losing 4v5s like this, it doesn't work. DP in the back, that's going to likely be the Elise dead.
Yep, nice Dragon Kick sends Fnatic directly into Atheris' arms. That's going to be one more auto attack, and again, Radiant slowly dominating the mid to late game, saying, thank you very much, we are not worried. We will take
my God.
Nice stylish kill. Atheris says, I am here, team, where you at?
Yeah, this one is looking really good here for Radiance. Again, it was a 4v5 for the longest time, and they were still winning it. Riven teleports in, and that's just it's ogre. It's all ogre, boys. Like, he's here. You're done. Everything burned. Chain of Corruption was used early, completely whiffs onto Jurassic. Flash heal from I Will Find You to try to save Pie Cake Lord doesn't mean anything. Sudji gets caught out as well. Just everything going from bad to worse for the side of Supernova, and you just hate to see it. You want them to be, okay at this point. The Elise is starting to fall off little by little. They're trying to go for something here.
Oh yes, this might be the catch that they want, but the Black Shield keeps Hyper alive. Unfortunate change there as Jurassic beautifully sidesteps that arrow.
And people wonder why Morgana is so strong. That Black Shield being on, a pretty decently low cooldown, as well as that Dark Binding rooting you for 3.5 seconds is massive. So, I mean, for the side of Radiance, why are they not going to take it? You have so much CC with the Ashe. You have so much CC now with the Morgana. You're just going to lock people down, and you're also going to save them. Listen, Soraka may be able to heal, but do they need to be healed if they don't take damage? Big brain right there.
I mean, on the flip side as well, Soraka, you can heal all you want, but if they're standing in the same spot and getting hit by multiple abilities as well, not much you can do. Here we go, Jurassic recalling out in the open. This might be the catch that they want. Nice flash forward, but a flash in return. That might be the signal to go in. Nice Sonic Wave lands on a value, but immediately zoned off by Sudzi. Pretty quiet overall. Arrow goes out, misses everyone. This might be what they want. Flash forward, lands on the value. He does cleanse right back out, but that's going to be the fight. Drowsy landing Pie Cake Lord. He is going to be taken out as well in the back line. Aetherius is going big. He might go down. No, he actually survives. Gets the shield and gets the heal. He will go down to one more piercing arrow. 1 for 1 so far on the map as both top laners take one for the team.
Yeah, it's still okay. That's a trade still in favor for Supernova there. But it's not the worst thing for Radiance. Riven in the backline almost was there. Did get Chain of Corruption, did get silenced there. So, not the worst thing. Just going to be a teleport. Hyper popping off.
Oh, Hyper heard what I said before and said, I'm having none of it. He gets a solid hit as well on that Q. Has to dash away, though. One more might do it. Fnatic barely running away. Another hit, one more. Everyone's super low. Another great Crystal Arrow collecting a kill for Jurassic. His first of the game, actually. Surprising enough. And Radiance have blown this game wide open.
Yep. I mean, this game is, it's looking more and more doomed as we continue. Baron is looming now for the side of Radiance. They're going to take the Cloud Drake as well here. Really good dragon control overall for the side of Radiance. We can probably get the statistics on dragons for each team here, but I can tell you right now, it's most likely in favor of Radiance throughout these 3 games. Cat Evolve doing massive amounts of damage, and Hyper, coming into this series was the huge question mark for Radiance, and he's showing why he deserves to be on this squad. If you put him on an early aggressive jungler and he gets ahead, he is going to destroy them. And we saw what he did in the early game this game. He literally made it so that Fnatic had 8 CS at, I think it was like the 4.5 minute mark. Not a fun time if you're a jungler.
Not at all. Another Crystal Arrow actually lands, and a beautiful follow-up to the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. That's the combo that they look for. Value has no summoners to get away, and that just means his death. Nice Sonic Wave actually lands in the Hyper. Gets his 5th of the game. Nice Dragon's Kick out. He's still chasing. Doesn't land the second, and there it is. Flash forward. Cataval saying, I can do this right now. Does get the Pop Blossom off as his Anya's is made, but not going to be enough to keep him alive. As another quick 3 kills are taken, Baron's still on the table.
Aatrox is here, though. Does have to be careful. Good Zonya's there by Cat Evolve. Trying to stay alive. Good ult as well.
Oh, he might actually survive as he's chipping away right now. One more slam will do it. Pie Cake Lord claims that. Double kill for him. So, I mean, a nice little pickup there. But at what cost?
I mean, for the side of Supernova, they don't lose anything. They can catch the bot waves, they can catch the mid wave. They'll lose a blue buff here, but it doesn't really matter. Baron control still gonna be in favor of Radiance here. And I mean, it's good to get these picks. You have the Aatrox now at 2 items, but it might be too little too late at this point. Sudsy, again, just not having a good performance this game as well. 0-4 is trying to be relevant and just cannot find the team fight that he's looking for.
Not at all. And again, he is available, but the power of just the CC chain coming out, this is also why you take it.
Oh my-
Wow! The fanciest of kills! Hyper says, I'm gonna squash the spider in less than a second. Did you see it? Want me to do it again?
Yo, go next. Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure that was blind as well. I don't think there was a ward until later. Oh no! The arrow lands as well. This is looking horrible coming out for the side of Supernova as they're just getting chased out. Atheris also solos out on the top side. Nico goes down and Atheris again, nice stun landing on a Pyke Lord. Pyke Lord doesn't even get the World Ender off. There goes the cleanse, but that might not be enough as Value gets hit by the Sonic Kick. And that is going to be it. 4-0 as Fnatic actually comes up from being absolutely deleted.
They just got styled on. That's gonna be the inhibitor tower going down here. That's gonna be the inhibitor going down here as well. They're not gonna go for the end here. It's very risky. You know, some teams have made the play where it's like, oh, you know, we'll just end the game here. It doesn't matter, and they go back, throw the game. Forget that, John. Go back. Just do the Baron. You guys have a pretty quick Baron take with how fed this Ashe is. And you just go for it. They're trying to death brush this actually here.
I mean, I think they can. You actually see Lee Sin hitting it off. Oh! That Sleepy Trouble Bubble does land. The arrow did miss, but I mean, 1-2 punch. Goodbye, Soraka. Wish won't save you there.
Just Zoe thinks? Question mark?
Another beautiful hit, and Fnatic again sold out. Big kick as well. The Smite claims that one. He goes forward and he lands it again. The style is real coming out of this Radiant squad. They are radiating their victory across the map. Pyke Lord, last one alive for his team again. They want to get an actual ace here. Pyke Lord gotta get run down. Soul Shackle goes out. That might be it as it stuns, roots, and kills. The monster in the top side is no more, and Radiance will push on for the Nexus Towers.
Yo, someone needs to nerf Hyper's Lee Sin popping off here. And 28.5 minutes into game number 3, a quick 3-0 for your new UPL champions in Radiance.
Radiance taking it home over Supernova. A fantastic game, ending it with some beautiful stylish plays. And just cleaning the floor with Supernova. I cannot think of a more dominating game than winning each game in under 30 minutes.
Yeah, you kind of just took a huge dump on Supernova. I'm not going to lie to you. Sudsy, not the best performance. Value, he was, you know, considered the top ADC in amateur, arguably. There are some other ones around, but again, just not good performances coming out from anyone on the side of Supernova. It just looked like a terrible game. They did not show up with their A game. Unlike Radiance here, Hyper popping off in all of the games, Jurassic and Winter showing what they can do in that second game, Cat Evolve just being the star mid laner that it is. And if you're going to Scouting Grounds, I would be terrified if you have to go up against Radiance.
I would as well. And honestly, we were talking about individual performances from each of these guys, but you have to look at their macro gameplay as well. They were rotating around the map perfectly. You know, the arrows, everything, even from games 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful job from all of them. And I mean, Supernova did put up a fight early game. You watch them try and make it happen. And yet again and again, they were contested, they were challenged, they were brought to their limits, and ultimately crumbled.
I mean, there's not much to say about Supernova here. They just fell apart at the seams, and it all started from game one. And the MVP this game has to go over to Hyper. There's no question about it. His two Lee Sin games, and this is of the series, not just of this game, of the series. His Olaf game, 4-1 and 4, popping off on the Olaf, comes on the Lee Sin, says, all right, whatever, I'll just kick the crap out of you. Then this game comes in, styles all over Fnatic, makes it that he has 8 CS by 4 minutes, completely dumps on him in the jungle. Someone clip that and send that to Synapse, because sweet Jesus, it was such a good play. Overall, Hyper, going into this series, looked like he was going to be the piece that might be the hindrance to Supernova, but instead, for Radiance, instead, he looks like a master jungler here and just completely dominated the entire performance.
I would have to agree with that. An amazing performance coming out of him, but again, everyone on Radiance stepping up, all lanes, winning in pretty much all fashions. They only had one slip up in game number one, just a slight team fight error at that first dragon, and they brought it home from there again. Congratulations to Radiance, your UPL, the Upsurge Premier League champions. Again, congratulations to Supernova as well. They have taken second. But again, thank you all for tuning in here tonight for the last game of the summer split from the Upsurge Esports community here. And again, from all of us here at the broadcasting desk, as well as Upsurge Esports, thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and have an amazing evening.
The winner takes all. It's the thrill of one more kill, the last one to fall. Who never sacrifice their will. Don't ever look back on the world closing in. Be on the attack with your wings on the wind.